replacement, along with Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney. And the Houston Texans have shockingly cut ties with a big name on their defense. According to multiple reports, Texans are releasing veteran safety CJ Gardner-Johnson.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a wild and woolly Tuesday, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. And, boy, news breaking all over the place right before the show today.
Really, it's incredible when you think about Mike Gundy actually getting fired. Because he's been there for so long. They're going through a rough patch. They fired the dude in September.
In September?
In September.
I mean, they're 1-2.
Yeah, but those two are bad, man. You can't lose like you did last Friday night to those guys and survive.
Wow.
Most coaches wouldn't. Even Gundy couldn't do that. And the way it works in big-time college football, the moment somebody's fired, you're immediately going, well, who are they going to go get? And is it our guy? And there's a couple of our guys that are in the conversation. G.J. Kinney, Jeff Traylor, Colin Klein are amongst the handful of coaches that are tabbed. I don't know if they're in the running. You don't know if Oklahoma State cares about them. But, I mean, the projections are, would those guys be on the list? When you have good programs and you're at the level that a Jeff Traylor is at or a G.J. Kinney, obviously a job comes open, you're going to be a hot name.
Well, especially a job like that. I mean, that's not a small job that just came open. Oklahoma State, one of the top teams in the Big 12 normally, not this year. But, and so G.J. Kinney, who's done a hell of a job with Texas State, Jeff Traylor, who has done a hell of a job with UTSA. There are a lot of others on the list, and it depends on what publication you look at, and even the betting odds are out on this thing. And I think G.J. Kinney right now, according to one publication, is the betting favorite to take that job.
Bet Online has G.J. Kinney as the favorite to be Oklahoma State's next full-time head coach at 3-1. Zach Robinson, who's with the Atlanta Falcons, is number 2 at 4-1. Ben Arbuckle, John Gruden, Colin Klein, and then Jeff Traylor at 10-1, just ahead of Deion Sanders at 12-1.
Deion?
I mean, look, if there's going to be action on anything, it's there. Now, I did see Mike Craven from Dave Campbell's Texas Football. He listed a couple of coaches like G.J. Kinney and Colin Klein, and Eric Morris at North Texas, another one with San Antonio ties. Mike Craven did not list Jeff Traylor. I saw in a subsequent tweet, buyout might have something to do with that. I'm not sure because Sports Illustrated has Jeff Traylor number 1.
Number 1.
Eric Morris is mentioned in a lot of places, but I know his buyout is pretty high. But I've also heard Eric Morris tied to the potential Baylor opening if Baylor moves on from Dave Aranda. So who knows?
Well,
right?
Do you think Jeff Traylor or G.J. Kinney might be mentioned in those jobs too?
You would think
so.
But Waco so close to North Texas in the Dallas area, those people that are making the decisions get Dallas TV, and they're seeing a lot of Eric Morris and what he's doing there with the Eagles. I don't know about the relationships, who could be there, because that always factors in. And as Jeff Traylor has told us on this show before, when his name has been rumored for a variety of jobs, when you have a successful program, that comes with the territory. I would imagine that Jeff Traylor and Dr. Campos and President Amy hate this. but that comes with the territory when you're successful.
I think Traylor might have a smile on his face. I mean, he knows he's going to get mentioned. I would think Lisa Campos would be the ones going, no,
crap.
I don't want to have to deal with this again.
Well,
The rumors are going to happen, and Jeff Traylor's name's going to come up every single time, and that's a compliment to Jeff Traylor. It is an absolute compliment because of what he's done with that program, and so it's going to happen. Now, whether he's interested in the job or has any desires to move to Stillwater, Oklahoma, I don't know, but it's going to be out there, and he's going to be mentioned.
It is, and one of the things like Sports Illustrated in their write-up, they have Jeff Traylor listed number 1, and it's his photo that is at the top of the website. 10 candidates for Oklahoma State football coaching search. Regional coaches like UTSA's Jeff Traylor and Texas State's G.J. Kinney could be in line to take over the Cowboys. And it's a picture of Jeff Traylor. And then you go back and you read why they list them. It says the former Texas high school coach has made the Roadrunners one of the toughest teams to play and a regular contender in the American. He's been in the mix at places like Texas Tech before, has coached at SMU and Arkansas as a key assistant, and would be a great cultural fit in Stillwater. And that is going to be a big part of whoever Oklahoma State goes and hires. Because most of us aren't thinking about the cultural fit. Now, you might think about the young offensive-minded guys like a G.J. Kinney or an Eric Morris. But you need somebody to come run this program. And, while Jeff Traylor signed that massive extension in 2021, remember it was 10 years, $28 million, with big old buyouts to keep people like Texas Tech and University of Houston away. What are we in year 4?
Yeah, year 4, I suppose. Yeah, it depends. I can't remember, honestly, and we were talking about it, whether that replaced his old contract or was it an extension? Well, if it was an extension, I'm thinking we're in year 3 or 4.
Well, and again, year 1 was $7.5 million. Year 4 is $5 million. Year 5 is $4 million. Keep in mind, Oklahoma State just redid Mike Gundy's deal right before the start of the new year. Dude took $1 million a year pay cut, little haircut there. Not for the mullet, but to add some extra dollars into the revenue share model. And also his buyout went from $25 million if he were fired to $15 million. So Mike Gundy basically lost $11 million by redoing his deal for the betterment of the school, then gets fired after reducing his buyout by $10 million.
So he's walking out the door with $15 million?
Yeah.
Adios. I'm good. I'm all right.
Well,
I'm fine.
I mean, think about what Jimbo walked away with.
Well,
I mean, $15 million. Those people in Oklahoma State. Boy, I'm glad we did our redo when we did. And there was some rumors that he run his course there in Stillwater. He took the pay cut. This is a guy that went there. He has spent over half of his life on that campus as either a player or a coach, and took the pay cuts for the betterment of the school. And reduced his buyout, not thinking he would get fired, I'm sure. And 3 weeks into the season, dude, you're done.
Well, I mean, they must not have spent that money very wisely then. I mean, it goes to reason that they're not a very good football team, at least right now. Oregon just spanked them.
69-3.
Spanked their heinies, and they're 1-2.
And they lost to Tulsa 19-12.
And so there you go. And that's, you don't want to do that.
Didn't G.J. Kinney go to Tulsa?
He was a quarterback there, if I recall correctly, at Tulsa. So he's
regional ties.
He's familiar with Oklahoma. Look, we're not going to have – nobody's going to get hired until the end of the season or toward the end of the season. They will put the offensive coordinator or the
– they got an interim coach.
Yeah, they'll have an interim coach for the remainder of the season, and then we'll start this up. But it's always fascinating when stuff like this breaks because Traylor's going to be mentioned. Kinney's going to be mentioned. And those schools just have to get used to that. And it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because you're doing well. You've brought eyes to the program, and you're successful. And so you're going to get fished.
All right. Stanford is open. UCLA is open. Virginia Tech is open. Now Oklahoma State is open. 4 major jobs, and we're still in September. And I am curious, though, And I say this, just throwing the spaghetti on the wall. The way things are in college athletics now, do we have to change our thinking, right? I'm with you. They don't have to worry about it now. They've named an interim coach. But if you're hiring a coach, do you look at it differently? If you're Jeff Traylor, man, I really don't want to quit on my team, but I got to take this new job, and I've got to get ahead of the game on the portal and the raising of money. Do you look at it differently than we would have 5 years ago, 10 years ago? I'm going to guess, as much as I hear Jeff Traylor talk about how he loves this city and loves this university, that if there was an opportunity at a place like Stillwater that could come up with the $20.5 million rev share model, and he didn't have to be the biggest fundraiser for the football program, that his thinking of those jobs might be different today than it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
I don't think there's any question about that. Look, I don't know this from Jeff Traylor. He didn't tell me that. But I believe if Traylor would have been offered that A&M job, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that. And so the Texas Tech job, I think he was offered that job from what I hear, and he didn't want it.
He didn't want it at the time, but you look at, with the money they have available now, and he has been able to do so much more with less. And you look at some of these programs, if they don't have the commitment financially from the university and from the donors under the current model, do you go somewhere where you can get that done?
Well, you go somewhere that's higher up on the ladder. And Oklahoma State right now is higher up on the ladder than UTSA. You're in a Power 4 conference.
Yep.
So I think in that respect, you're going to do that if you're interested in that job, if the time is right. You mentioned UCLA, Stanford. I don't think Jeff Traylor has any desire to go to California and coach anywhere.
No.
Now, that's just me saying that, but I just don't think culturally.
Although if they gave you $10 million a year, you can get used to the beach.
Well, perhaps. I don't know. Now, in Oklahoma State, I could see. But he's going to get mentioned. There's going to be rumors out there. This list will get whittled down and changed about 10 times before they actually go out and hire somebody. But it's going to be interesting to see how much interest Jeff Traylor has in the Oklahoma State job.
And again, what Jeff will end up telling us publicly on the radio when he's on, why didn't this happen yesterday right before he came on?
Exactly.
But at the same time, we've been down this road before with Jeff Traylor and other jobs, whether it was Houston or A&M or Texas Tech. So I kind of have an idea of what he's going to say publicly. But I am curious, in this current state of college athletics, how much do those conversations between he and his agent, and more importantly his wife, change as far as much as he loves it here, is there the financial commitment from the university to keep this going year after year after year after year after year? Because when you're in the American, you get a player, and then you hope that you can keep them because somebody else with a lot more money is easily able to come in and scoop them away. You heard him yesterday talking about the fact that we're going to one portal window, and if you missed it, go listen to what Jeff Traylor said during the interview yesterday about the one portal window in January. Yes, they're going to have a spring game. Last year it was a disaster, and who they finish spring with and who's on the roster to start the fall is completely different because of the spring portal window that is now going to be closed.
Wasn't it Oklahoma State who came out first before anybody and said they're going with the maximum amount of NIL? They did that right off the bat. So they've got the money. It's just going to be dependent on who's going to take that job. Before we move on, the other bit of surprising news today. Texan fans, all three of you, CJ Gardner-Johnson has been released. Bad locker room guy, according to KPRC's Aaron Wilson.
Cowboys.
And he is available. That would be interesting to see. So we're talking about that. Jerry on the Fan at 105.3 in Dallas today, and some really interesting things to say about a variety of things, as Jerry normally does. We're talking to Jerry Jones, or we're hearing from him at least, when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care For injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to Ortho Now. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20. The Cowboys take on the Green Bay Packers at Jerry World in Arlington. Pre-game at 6.
I like this kind of party!
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protectyourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. We'll look back at the last weekend of football and look forward to the next one, Rob. We even got a game tomorrow.
Hey, we'll talk football on both sides of the fence, and we are joined by the head coach of your fighting Texas Aggie, Mike Elko, as they get ready for Auburn.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not quite hump day yet. Is this little hump day? Kind of like a little Friday. We got little hump day.
Dude, I don't know.
I can't keep up with all of it.
It's a day that ends in Y.
It is a Tuesday that ends in Y. And this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. Lots going on today. Mike Gundy fired. CJ Gardner-Johnson released by the Houston Texans. Where will he end up next?
Dallas. I mean, look, Cowboys need help there. Apparently he wanted to blitz more. Cowboys need somebody that can get after a quarterback. I say that half kiddingly, but the Texans might be a bigger dumpster fire this year than the Dallas Cowboys. Indie Koo will join us in a little more than an hour. We'll get his thoughts on the Texans, their offense, and this kind of interesting out of left field story with CJ Gardner-Johnson getting released.
Yeah, it really is crazy. I mean, even Pledge comes running in going, what's going on? So it was a surprise to everybody. A lot of ways that you can comment on whatever we're talking about today. Go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Like and subscribe said YouTube page, if you will, there, and we would appreciate that. You can comment and get us all. You can reach Jason at Jason Minix on Twitter. I'm at Joe Reinagel 210 on Twitter, or you can do it the old-fashioned way, 656-3776, 656-ESPN.
Now, I kind of half joke about C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming to Dallas because Lord knows if you've watched them play, they need help in the secondary.
We certainly have help on the way. You just named one of them, and we've got a couple others that could really come off of our IR that more than likely would have been playing in these first three ball games. So we have personnel on the way by and through of guys getting off the injury list, and that could be very, very helpful.
Good.
However, what we were really short on out there, which was just not playing the schemes that we were using in the secondary to its fundamentals, not playing to the fundamentals of the scheme, is what really hurt us with those exceptional long plays that Chicago put on us.
Mm-hmm.
No scheme. Huh.
Scheme. Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan, and he's been talking about guys that have been hurt. One of them is a rookie. He didn't play much last year and not yet this year. So we're counting on a rookie as the savior.
Hasn't played in a year, by the way.
Everybody talk, man, Stephon Gilmore's out there. Well, now you got a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And again, bad locker room guy, sure. Guy that wanted out of Houston. Those are some of the rumors that we're hearing now that he's out. Maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. And I don't care if you're not likable. Can you help this team? And right now, I think all of us listening right now can do just as poor of a job as what the Cowboys are currently getting, except for that guy's in better shape. So why not bring him in at least for a look-see?
I might as well. I mean, it can't hurt. That's for sure. Depends on whether they will or not, and how bad of a locker room guy was he, because the first thing, if I'm Jerry or Steven, I'm going to do is I'm calling Caserio or D'Amico and say, hey, what's up with this guy? I mean, obviously it was bad enough that they said, screw you, buddy, after 3 games. We're done.
Well, again, how much of a was he? And again, by some of the reporting, unhappy with his role, wanted to blitz more, and was asking for a trade. He didn't like it in Houston. Bad locker room guy. They made a trade for George Pickens, who had a reputation, at least through a couple weeks. He seems to be fine. All right. Yeah. I mean, sometimes change of scenery is what is necessary. Who knows? All right. Now they may or may not get Deron Bland back this week, according to Dr. Jerry.
I don't want to get out over our skis here. It's a good possibility we'll have him.
Yeah.
Possibility.
Possibility.
Yeah, there is a possibility. And I mean, they're in trouble already. C.D. Lamb will not play this week. That's been determined.
Yep.
Nor will Tyler Booker, offensive lineman. They're already without Cooper Beebe. So the Cowboys are thin in a couple of different spots. So they need some help, and they're coming in. This is a pissed-off Green Bay team that's coming in here, who tends to play very well at Jerry World, as a matter of fact. So it's one of those things, doesn't look good. 7-point favorite already, I saw Green Bay is on Sunday night.
Only 7?
Only 7.
Only 7.
Right now.
Only 7.
Uh-huh.
And I saw somewhere earlier 6.5, and I was like, that's it. Only 7. Like, this could get up to double digits. I mean, keep in mind, the Cowboys are without 2 of their better offensive linemen, and without their best receiver. They should get a Clowney this week. That will help. And I don't know. According to Jerry, they're going to scheme up getting more pressure on Jordan Love.
Well, we had a perfect storm. We had the play on the front didn't match what we were doing in the back. A zone defense is a safe defense. It should allow, played right, it should allow shorter games, but not big plays. And, of course, if you do a zone defense and you limit your rush by numbers, then that's the perfect storm against you. You've got to be able to stop the explosive plays. And when you don't have it, then you have to make adjustment. And we did that really, frankly, the first drive. We had some adjustment and put a little pressure on in there. But the answer is yes, yes, yes. We've got to have more pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. And, look, and I'm not going to get on the guy so much right now, but a little bit. Eberflus, he doesn't change. He did nothing different the entire ball game with that defense. Nothing. I saw no changes. I saw nothing. I just don't understand when Caleb Williams is running all over you and throwing the football wherever he wants to throw it to guys that are standing there, having a cigarette. I mean, it seems to me you might want to try something else.
Well, I mean, now granted, these guys have had 3 different coordinators in 3 years, Joe.
I think it plays a role, but it's not an excuse. Because you've got turnover all over this league in coaching, and you've got turnover in players all over this league. And so you've got to factor that in. That's the life you've chosen. That's what we do. And by the way, if you're a coach, more so than any other explanation, you're prepared for a setback like this. You should be. You should know that there's a good chance one's coming. And so as coaches or as managers, this is no first time, or you're very naive. In the NFL, and even as these teams are across the board, those differences that you saw out there Sunday can be corrected. On the other hand, you've got to know that here we're facing Green Bay. They'll look at what we didn't do well. They'll look at what we didn't have in the right spot personnel-wise, and they'll be ready to attack that Sunday. That's what makes this league so special and so great, because everybody's playing with good players.
Did he really almost say, and they'll look at what we did good and realize they didn't do anything good and just kind of pivoted on mid-sentence? That was well done. Although, I was well done by Jerry, because he knows they didn't do anything well. And look, we've seen the Cowboys play. We've seen the Texans play, and he's talking about how everybody's about the same. That football game I watched last night looked like 2 teams playing a very different game than what's being played by the Texas NFL teams.
Without a doubt. Those 2 are the cream of the crop in the National Football League. That Detroit offensive line played lights out last night. They were running all over Baltimore. But then you look at a Lamar Jackson, who Talk about a pass rush. The Hutchinson guy's pretty good.
He is.
He's not bad. And they were all over Lamar Jackson last night. But when that man throws the prettiest ball I've ever seen. And I'm talking about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
That guy can flat out sling it.
But he has to have time, too.
He does. But, my gosh, he was putting passes in that only his guy could catch it, and it was pretty amazing. But give Jared Goff a little credit, too.
Yeah.
He looked pretty damn good.
I mean, especially on that fourth down play.
Yes.
That was a hell of a football game. And as a Cowboy fan, it was great to watch good football because it's been a while since I've seen it. And Texan fan, you're in the same boat. In fact, whatever we watched on Sunday looked so completely different last night. That's the standard that people are chasing. That was incredible football. Cowboys, they get that spotlight Sunday against Green Bay.
You think NBC, can they flex yet?
Not yet, and they would never flex the Cowboys.
I'm just
because
asking.
It's still the Cowboys. But look, it's September, right? It is September. We're seeing college coaches get fired, like Mike Gundy fired today. We're 3 weeks into the season, and this Cowboys defense seems so far removed from what we had with Dan Quinn just a couple of years ago. And Jerry was asked today by the boys on 105.3 The Fan, any thought about changing coordinators already?
I think it'd be unfair to not to me, but to you, to answer that way as though it's a policy. It is not anything. It's just that I really like our coaching staff, and they're really outstanding teachers. They know what they're doing. It doesn't look that way now. Chicago had something to do with that, but I've got real confidence that this staff that we've got, Flus, we know well. We've coached here for, I think, 7 years before he left to coach elsewhere. Having said that, that's not a discussion point other than to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It doesn't look like it right now, but trust me, they're good teachers. They're great coaches.
I mean, they are such good teachers. Monday morning, I had a meeting with all of them to try to figure out what the hell is going on.
I think that's probably fair to say answers. What you want is what we're going to do about it. And there's not much argument as to what we didn't do well that resulted in the loss. There's not a lot of conversation about that other than how can we, this coming week and 3 days of practice, how can we basically address it personnel-wise, scheme-wise? And that's the nature of the conversation.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it? You got to fix it because it's horrible, and we can't go through another game like that. It's awful. We got to do something different, and we'll see what they do different. But it's, I mean, it's just Sunday was. If I'm Eberflus or anybody that plays defense, I'm embarrassed and I'm wearing a bag over my head.
Well,
that was terrible.
I mean, it was bad. But you know what Dallas isn't going to do? There's not going to be a video tribute to one Micah Parsons for his homecoming.
Why would anybody think there would be?
Because that's what happens now in pro sports.
What the hell did Micah Parsons do for the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, look, he sold a lot of jerseys, and they're all on sale right now. Hell, I saw the other night at the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame on Saturday night, the induction ceremony, a Parsons jersey in the auction went for $400.
A Cowboys Parsons jersey?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, $400. You go into the Cowboys Pro Shop, they got the inventory. They're on sale. I don't know who's buying them, but they're on sale. But everybody gets some sort of video tribute, a social media post. Thank you. Jerry said to hell with that. No, there's not going to be a video from Micah coming in. Not going to be there. So, yeah.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, there shouldn't be. I saw that, and I'm going, well, who the hell would even ask that question? What the hell? He was there 4 years, and the Cowboys did nothing while he was here.
Yeah, well, he did make Pro Bowls.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
I mean,
right. That's worth a tribute.
I mean, he did help us get a couple extra first-round draft picks that are sitting on a shelf right now.
Well, okay.
But, there's currency there.
So,
I mean, he's a great player for 4 years. Is that video tribute worthy? But
no, it's not.
In today's social media, Mr. Get Off My Lawn, That's how things are done. And so if they would have done one, it wouldn't have surprised me.
I would have stood up and booed because I'm going to be there.
Yeah,
and
you
I
are.
would boo like hell.
Yes.
And so, yeah, no.
And where you're going to be sitting, I know this because I was there for the Giants game. You're going to be close enough to turn around and yell at Jerry and where he can actually hear you.
Well, I'm going to applaud Jerry for not doing it because it's a ridiculous idea to even think about doing
You'll
that.
find something to yell at the old man about.
Well, I might. Depends.
Wait till you see the beer prices.
Yeah, dude, I don't care about that. You think I'm going to stop drinking?
No.
No,
they're free.
Not going to happen. Lots going on around the NFL. The Giants have finally made the change.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Dart, he's going to get his start. And the Lions having some fun with ESPN and the media after they beat the Ravens last night. We're talking
Kids
about
these
that.
Days.
I'm telling you, it was genius, by the way. I thought it was fantastic. ESPN even mentioned it after in the postgame show. So props to them for doing that.
Pepper with the crow.
We're doing all of that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. Payment plans are available. They have a free shuttle service, and they're discreet and confidential. Open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're down in Corpus, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chum Club, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of Sports Star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/sports. openphone.com/SPORTS.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long, and you can play here in Texas. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Love playing on Underdog because it's easy. You just pick whether you think your players are going to go higher or lower on particular stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, rushing yards. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash, and you can play for as little as $1. So download the Underdog app. Sign up today with promo code STAR to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Again, promo code STAR on Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will...
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
All right. Pledge playing the hits today on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and we have a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page that we would like for you to go to said page, like, subscribe, and participate in our poll. It's very simple. Do you think Micah Parsons should have a video tribute Sunday night?
Age has a lot to do with this, although we were reminded that the Spurs did a wonderful video for DeMar DeRozan after his 3 glorious years with the San Antonio Spurs. I also look at, like, Roll on our YouTube page said, love Parsons, but maybe they do a tribute to his podcast and his garbage time sacks. I mean, all right.
Well done.
If today's world is, this is what you do, it could be interesting. By the way, has he done a podcast since he's been a Packer? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think we would have heard it if he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I wonder if he got offered to do it again. I would assume that he would. Who was doing that? Was it Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
That was paying for that thing. So.
And he probably still is, but, priority is football in Green Bay and, media in Dallas. Ask Jerry. But a video tribute, and Jerry said, don't think it's appropriate this way. Emmett was a different story. Not to diminish Micah. I think Micah's got enough welcome out there. We just need to show we've got anecdotes for that. Not every, but he was a star-level player. And I do think, there's people like you that, well, what did he do? But He is a great player on a Hall of Fame path. Will he get there? He's got to continue down that path, but he is that kind of player. And when Dan Quinn had this defense rolling, he was the key piece to that defense. That's why there was so much talk about him becoming the highest paid non-quarterback. That's why Jerry was willing to give him that kind of money. But I think you lose the, expectation of video tribute when you're offered a contract and your agent tells you where to put said contract. And I think there goes your video tribute if you're Micah Parsons and expecting one. Not that he is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, with Micah, he kind of wears his feelings on his sleeve. He may be upset by that. We'll have to ask him. But I just don't know. He was there for 4 years. I think the NBA is a little bit different than the NFL when it comes to those kinds of things.
Why?
I don't know why, but I just don't think Micah Parsons, had they won a Super Bowl during his time, perhaps, or it made a run in the playoffs, perhaps. That would have been nice. They did none of those things. And yes, he's a great player. I can't deny that. I won't deny that. And maybe he makes the Hall of Fame one day. I don't know, but he didn't move the needle for the Cowboys. Not in the postseason. He did not. And you can't deny that.
No.
So I don't think that he deserves some kind of, oh, Micah, welcome home. We love you. Wish you wouldn't have left. Yada.
Stick it up our ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he doesn't deserve one.
You guys can vote in the poll on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel right now. 78% say no. Jerry's making the right call there. But in today's world of the way things are done, everybody last night picked Baltimore to win at home on Monday Night Football.
Except yours truly.
Well, okay. But nobody knew what your pick was, and certainly the Lions don't. But everybody on ESPN pregame, they go through the picks, and everybody had Baltimore. And the Lions social media team, they did not forget.
They did not forget, and they let ESPN know that they didn't forget and that they all got it wrong. I think there was one guy who actually picked the Lions on that whatever they were doing on ESPN, but they even made a comment about it during the postgame show. I don't know if it was Laura Rutledge or one of them said, "Yeah, the Lions are they're trolling us on their page."
Well, and then that's kind of what it boils down to. You look at and you go, all right, what do you do? It is what it is. Everybody made their picks. Hell, Ryan Clark was wearing a purple suit. Stephen A. was wearing a pink suit. But, dude, I had the Ravens. I thought the Ravens at home. If that game would have been in Detroit, I would have gone Detroit. That was a hell of a football game.
It really was.
But in today's world, team social media are going to see that. They're going to take that personal and drop the Michael Jordan meme and screenshot everybody picking the other team. That's the way it is. Like video tributes when players come back. That's just the way it is. I thought it was fantastic. It was a hell of a game, and hats off to the social media team for sure.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining game, and obviously those two teams. We joked yesterday that, hey, this could be a Super Bowl preview. I'm telling you, it really could be. You got to throw those two teams in the mix, and that'd be, judging from last night, would be one hell of a Super Bowl. So, Troy Aikman, we're going to talk about him too. He had some comments last night that I thought were funny.
I mean, Troy Aikman, different kind of funny. He's on national TV. He can't say he's got big balls, but he came as close to it as he could.
From Dan Campbell, not surprised. He's got big onions. I mean, this is a bold move. Even with a first down, they cannot run out the clock because the Ravens still have all 3 timeouts.
Montgomery in the backfield on 4th and 2. Goff keeps, floats. Amon-Ra, perfect throw and catch. Unreal.
You talk about stones, honestly.
Onions.
I mean, 4th and 2, and he throws a 15-yard pass, and the pass was absolutely perfect.
Yep.
The route was run absolutely perfectly, and it just that told the story. I mean, it was over. That was it.
And that's what Dan Campbell does. Montgomery, Gibbs against that defense, that was incredible. The Derrick Henry fumble, though, the difference of them being a 1-2 team is they know they've got plenty of time and they've got the pieces there to fix stuff. But Harbaugh's been in so many big games, and the graphic, and we saw this after the Buffalo game, the amount of double-digit leads he has blown. At some point, you wonder, when does the patience wear thin there?
Yeah, that's interesting. You've already lost a primetime game with Buffalo rallying and coming from behind to win that thing. But Lamar Jackson, and I didn't realize this, and I probably should have, he's like king of Monday night. I mean, he never loses on Monday night until last night. But I just find that I think Dan Campbell is one of those guys. And after they got shellacked by Green Bay in week 1, everybody, the coordinators are gone. All the coordinators are gone. And while that, yes, does make a difference, I think Dan Campbell trumps that in a big way, because he just is a guy that I have a feeling that those players love to play for. And he just makes the atmosphere fun, and it's about playing football, and it's about doing it right. And they certainly did last night. And they outplayed Baltimore, and they get the win on the road in very difficult place to play.
Well, and it's not just the coordinators they lost, and they were talking about it last night in the broadcast. Was it 6 or 8 different assistants, too?
Yeah,
right?
True.
I mean, it's Dan Campbell's there, and that's consistent, but whole lot of changes. And they didn't look good in the first game. They've looked dominant in the last 2. Other NFL news and notes, the Giants finally did what we all thought they were going to do. Russell Wilson has been benched. Can't bench the guy after he torches the Cowboys for 450, but Jackson Dart, welcome to the NFL.
Boy, and he's got a tough one. He's got to face the Chargers now, who's got a pretty solid defense and a pretty good head coach who could make the life of a rookie miserable.
Dude, you don't think he'll be confused a little bit?
I would imagine so. But it is time, and I'm anxious to see Dart in a regular season game. We all watched him play preseason football, and he played very well, but now it's for real. What's he going to look like? I just hope the Giants and the Giant fans are patient with this guy. They've been calling for him. They're getting what they want, and so I hope they're patient with him, because he is going to make some mistakes. I don't think there's any question about it.
To steal a line from Jeff Traylor, why not give him a soft bed? You wait one more week and you get the Saints.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you get the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles, and the 49ers, and then the Bears.
Hey, throw them into the fire.
Well, I mean – They just know they can't win with Russell Wilson.
No.
Although, did you hear the quote from Malik Neighbors? It ain't the quarterback. And it wasn't the quarterback last year, which really makes me wonder about the coaching staff and the play calling. If a guy like Malik Neighbors is saying something like that, is he defending his teammate while throwing his coaches under the bus? Or he knows what we all know. Brian Daboll ain't long for this. You just kind of have to outlast a bad boss. You'll get a new coach in there, so it really doesn't matter what you say.
Well, I think Daboll's another one of those guys, or at least it appears this was his first head coaching job. It appears he's a better coordinator than maybe a head coach. And there's a lot of those guys like that get their opportunity and they just fall short. But I just as a fan of football, not of the Giants, I want to see how Jackson Dart performs against a very good Chargers football team. I know Pledge and 2 of his Texan fans are probably sharing this. The Texans are being said as the most disappointing team thus far of the 2025 season.
You know, when you think about expectations coming in, yeah. I mean, there was all that love for the new OC, and it's gotten worse. They are. Now, your team, the Tennessee Titans,
they're bad, and I never expected anything else.
Yeah, but Brian Callahan is giving up play calling duties already.
I wish he'd give up the head coaching duties already.
Well, he's not going to give up that paycheck.
Dude, I'm telling you that you talk about a mistake. I think it may be. Maybe it turns out to be better. But yeah, you're right. He is giving up the play calling duties. Bo Hardigree, the quarterback's coach, will be calling the plays from now on. I have no idea who that is. Bad news for Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, he's out for about 3-4 weeks with a hamstring. That's bad news for Tampa Bay.
It's bad news for my fantasy team.
Well, yeah. I finally got a win last night.
You
man.
did.
I'm very happy. First one of the year.
Good for you. You're off the schneid. You're better than the Texans.
That's exactly right. Moved from 10th place to 8th place in our fantasy league. Our good friend Bob Ballou, he's last. I'll let him know that tomorrow, too, when we talk to him about the Texas Longhorns. We'll do that. Hey, coming up next, we're going to talk about some funny stories around the world. And you know, I've always wanted to renew the vows. You ever renewed the vows with your wife?
No.
I don't know. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, I don't understand why you've done that once.
You just kind of renew them.
There's no reason for that.
One wife took the offer of renewing the vows into an opportunity to have some fun.
Uh-oh.
We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to talk to you, though, about Stevens Roofing. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and well, they're just simply the best in the business. I don't think there's any question about that. Winter is coming. It is officially fall right now. It's going to be hot for a while. That's just what we deal with here in San Antonio and South Texas. But that cold weather will come. And you want to make sure that your roof is up to par with whatever Mother Nature has to throw at us this winter. We just don't know, right? In San Antonio, it could be Snowmageddon. It could be, 70 degrees every day. We just don't know. But you want to make sure that you're ready for whatever that is. Give Stevens Roofing and Solar a call at 210-785-0994. Have them send a crew out to inspect your roof. They'll do it for free. They'll come out, they'll inspect your roof, they'll make sure it's sealed, they'll make sure it's secure, they'll make sure it's energy efficient, and they'll make sure that there's no spots up there that need to be taken care of. I'm always concerned about that when I look at my roof, and it's okay. It's in good shape, but, you want to get that thing checked out and make sure that everything is in good shape, and you want to do it now before something bad in the weather happens. Get it done now. Stevens Roofing and Solar, best in the business. Doesn't matter what kind of project you have, metal, composition, commercial, residential, all of it. They cover all the bases. 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 2:30, the Aggies take on the Auburn Tigers. Presented by Just Punts. Pregame at 1:30 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly, and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me, and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Stop wasting money on hard water costs. Go get yourself a Connecticut water system. It's one of the few household appliances that pays for itself. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Connecticut water softener. Connecticut water softeners are specifically designed to solve virtually any water problem you may have. Living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that costs you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Connecticut water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform more efficiently with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. So, for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Connecticut today. 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-2521. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it is part of the big news of the day. Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy has been fired after more than 2 decades at the helm of the Cowboys. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor has already been mentioned as a possible replacement, along with Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney. And the Houston Texans have shockingly cut ties with a big name on their defense. According to multiple reports, the Texans, they're releasing veteran safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday in San Antonio, happy you're riding along with us on this Tuesday afternoon. We appreciate it. Whether you're doing that on the radio, thank you. On our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, we appreciate that. Log in, subscribe, and like our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. We also have a poll up there, by the way, you can get involved in. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and we appreciate having you along.
The poll on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page has to do with a video tribute from Micah Parsons. Jerry says they're not doing one. A lot of people are upset by this. Where do you fall in line? Should Micah Parsons have a video tribute Sunday in his return to Dallas? Right now, 65% say no, 35% say yes.
And I would just be curious, and it's not on there, and there's no way to put it on there. But for the 35% that say yes, why? Why should Micah Parsons have a video tribute in Jerry World on Sunday night?
So if you vote yes, he should, in the comments, tell us why.
Yeah, I'd like to know why. I'm just curious.
Because I'm glad they're not doing that.
Well, I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced what?
I'm not convinced that for any reason they should be. Shouldn't even be a thought.
It is 2025.
I guess.
I mean, Mike Gundy gets fired and Oklahoma State puts out a thank you, coach.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you in the butt when you're on your way out.
Here's $15 million to go away.
Yeah, geez.
You can't lose to Tulsa and keep your job.
No, that's a no-no.
I mean, but that's the way things are done, which is why it was a legitimate question, and Jerry said no. And I'm going to guess somebody in Game Ops or whatever, a video trivia. Yeah, I don't know if we can make this call. Let's run that upstairs to Jerry. No.
Ain't happening.
No.
And Jerry says it's not personal.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a little bit there. But, yeah.
Stick it up our ass.
Yeah. It's personal.
It's personal.
It's personal. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Speaking of personal, God, I love Lane Kiffin.
I do too.
College football. And if you have, for some reason, avoided seeing photos of Lane's daughter,
why would you do that? Why would you torture yourself?
You're under a rock. But Lane Kiffin's daughter has her dad's personality. So,
and her mom's looks or what?
Ole Miss this week is playing LSU. His daughter Landry,
shiny.
Posted a photo of her sitting on the lap of a dude. Happens to be LSU star linebacker Whit Weeks.
Yes.
The fact that LSU is playing Ole Miss this week, and this is the week you're going to tell the world that you're dating their linebacker.
But I love Lane Kiffin because, I mean, obviously he saw this. He was asked about it.
Yeah.
His response was, take the over.
54.5?
That's it. He said, take the over.
Torch that guy.
Yeah. I think it was fun. Well, hey, props, dude.
No.
I'm just saying, congratulations.
So many ways you could go there.
Young love. What are you going to do? It's so mystical.
Was that her words, Pledge?
No, it's just what the kids call it these days. Hard launching your relationship
on
Twitter.
They hard launched.
There's a lot of ways you can take that in itself
on social media.
It's hard.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
And this dude apparently has the reputation in the locker room that you don't want him anywhere near your sister.
Nice.
But the opposing coach's daughter, I'll tell you.
Makes things interesting.
As Troy Aikman says, that kid's got some onions.
He's got some onions.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm assuming that Lane Kiffin and his daughter get along.
Oh, yeah, no, they make TikToks all the time. Like I said, her personality seems to be that of Lane Kiffin.
The heart wants the heart wants. You know, what are you going to do?
You get married and after 10 years you renew your vows, which I personally think is one of the dumbest things out there. Been married 30 years, I'm not ever going to renew my vow. I mean, I did that once, we're good. Because, I mean, one, I'm cheap. Two, I never thought about it like this, but there's a dude out there. He brought up the idea of renewing vows. His wife said, that's a great idea. But if we're going to renew our vows, we got to start the whole dating process over again, and that starts with seeing other people. So she wants to be able to go be with a bunch of dudes or whatever. They got married young, so she never had the chance to go wild a little bit, if you will. Sow her oats. But she has told him, you can do the same.
Well, for how long? I mean, I don't know if this...
But they didn't list rules. He's writing Dear Abby or whoever going, how did I screw this up? I asked her to renew vows, and she's taking it to a level I didn't expect.
Well, of course you didn't expect it. That'd be the last thing you'd expect. Yeah, honey, but Fred down the street there, he's pretty shiny. I like to hop in the sack with him before we get married again, just to make sure we're doing it right.
I want me some glory hole.
Goodness gracious. Who would have thought that? And even if you're the husband and you're like, I love you, honey, and I just wanted to make sure we renewed our vows, and then you're hearing this?
Well, you're going to call it a relationship reboot.
Wow.
You Control-Alt-Delete and fire it all up again, starting from scratch.
That's a punch in the onions, isn't it?
I would say he probably now should not think about spending money on a renewal ceremony and get a good divorce attorney, because she ain't the one.
Well, she's not the one, and I think that's kind of her point.
That or go together to some swingers place and have fun.
Well, yeah, no.
I mean, people that are into that, go for it, right?
Sure. Yeah. No judgment.
Oh, there's lots of judgment.
No judgment.
Lots of judgment.
Damn, I feel sorry for that guy.
Imagine you're an escort down in Florida, because of course Florida, Clearwater, Florida, to be exact. This woman got arrested because of a bizarre silly string attack.
Wait a minute, what?
She emptied a can of silly string on a dude, then threw the can at him, and it cut his forehead, so he called the cops. She gets arrested, and she got arrested for assault, and then they realized, well, she's an escort because the phone number she listed was to the escort service when they called it to see who could come get her.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is
it's Florida.
It is Florida. So this guy must have pissed her off. I mean, why? Or is this a game that escorts play now? Silly string game.
Well, they charge extra for that.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't pay?
You get the can.
Or maybe you get charged extra for the can.
Well, I would assume that you pay in advance. Do you not? I mean, I'm just wondering. This girl's 48 years old.
Wow.
And her name is Crystal Watts.
Yeah, but that's not the name she gave, right?
Well, I don't know what the name she gave, but that's her real name. And I don't. It still doesn't say. There's no reason for the attack. Now, was the guy getting a little too frisky?
How do you get too frisky with a hooker?
Well, it's an escort, right?
Is that not the same thing?
Dude.
Is that not the same thing?
I've heard some stories.
About a man named Brady? What?
Well, I'm just saying that of things that happen with escorts / hookers. I mean, there's rules. You have to be on your P's and Q's.
Pay extra for the silly string?
I guess for silly string, you have to. I'm not sure he wanted that, though. Maybe that's what he's pissed off about. She pulls out the silly string and says, I didn't order that. And she sprayed him with it anyway. I don't know.
And now there's an extra cleanup fee.
It's a bizarre story, without a doubt, and it happens in Florida. You know, it's really a crazy world, is it not? You got nothing. You and your wife don't play with silly string?
No.
No. Well, maybe you should start, Minix.
Do you guys?
Well, I don't kiss and tell, Minix. Come on.
Why are you turning red, Reinagel?
Well, it's red silly string. What can I say?
Is it really?
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Sounds like fun, though. I mean, honestly, doesn't it? Wow. You get that silly string and you got to work your way through. Oh. Indie Koo, who has not been having any wet dreams about the Texans defense lately. So I don't know what he's been doing, but we're going to talk to him at the bottom of the hour about the Texans' woes and what's going on. In the meantime, Jerry Jones, when he's not talking to Candy Lee, is talking to 105.3 The Fan about a variety of things. You know, does he regret the CD Lamb play? That's what I want to ask him, and I think they asked him this morning. We'll get the answer to that question when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got to ask you a question, though, before we go away. Have you been thinking about, I don't know, maybe just kind of talking about replacing your doors and windows, whether 1, 2, all of them, whatever? If you do that and you know you're going to make an investment in your house, you want to get the best price and the best quality. Well, I got the company for you. They're called Windows and Door Renovations. You need to call these folks and compare. Whether it's a window or door project at home or if you're a contractor, it's worth your time to call Windows and Door Renovations, 210-284-7888. They offer a wide variety of designs, styles, materials, and Look, the window technology these days, it's incredible. It helps maintain your home's temperature. That means your AC works less, and that means your electricity bill goes down. They do have brand name windows, for example, Anderson Windows, and all of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. You want the best price? Call 210-284-7888. They're proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting the military community in this area. You want more information on them? All you have to do is go to Facebook, Windows and Door Renovations. That's how you find them. Or you can give them a call. You can do it right now, 210-284-7888.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Argo Group delivers specialty insurance tailored to your business, backed by expert claims handling and global experience. As a proud local employer, Argo gave back to more than 20 San Antonio nonprofits last year. Visit argogroup.com. Argo, helping businesses stay in business. Argo Group offers a full line of specialty insurance products and services designed to meet the unique coverage and claims handling needs of businesses. As a local employer, Argo contributes to the San Antonio community too, donating to more than 20 area nonprofits last year. Visit argogroup.com to learn how tailored strategies and global expertise can support your business. That's argogroup.com. Argo, we help businesses stay in business.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage. No overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
enjoy. Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right. Only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, "Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star."
Having a good time on a Tuesday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. We got a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page we'd like for you to participate in. We got 59 votes on this thing, Minix. I'd like to get that thing up to 100 at least before we announce what the results are.
Well, and again, I mean, it will climb, although should Micah Parsons have a video tribute Sunday when the Packers come to town? Right now, 66% say no, but I'm with you. We need over 100 votes on that to make it, I don't know, official. Pretty good sample size. So go vote on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel and go the extra step. 1, subscribe. 2, hit the thumbs up button. And 3, if you vote, yes, he should get a video tribute. In the comments, tell us why.
Yeah, I'd like to know why.
I mean,
because I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. And again, you look at this game coming up on Sunday. Now, keep in mind, Packers are only about a touchdown favorite. Dallas has not beaten Green Bay since 2016. Green Bay has won the last 5 meetings, including the postseason.
That's incredible.
And when you look at, I don't know, their defense versus the Cowboys' defense, points per game, Dallas is ranked 28th. Green Bay first at 14.7. Net yards per game, Dallas is 30th. Green Bay third. Rushing yards, Cowboys 17th. So, man, Kenny Clark doing a great job. Green Bay third without Kenny Clark. Passing yards per game, Green Bay's ranked 7th. Dallas is 31st. There's somebody out there worse. It's just bad. Third down percentage. Green Bay is good at getting off the field. They're ranked 6th. Dallas 32nd.
Well, dude, I'm hoping that Eberflus is looking at that Cleveland game and seeing what the Browns did and maybe trying to imitate some of what the Cleveland Browns did, because they did a hell of a job of shutting down that Green Bay Packer offense. So, I mean, you look at that, and they say they're going to come up with something different. And this is one of those games, and I'm not predicting this by any stretch of the imagination. But as much as we were all saying, what the hell's wrong with Las Vegas when the Cowboys playing the Bears, it's like the easiest pick on the books. This one looks like an easy Green Bay win. They're going to blow the Cowboys out of the water, no problem. Perhaps not.
You know, in 39 games, that's how many times in the history the Cowboys have played the Packers. 30 of the games have been decided by double digits.
Huh.
Right? It's nuts. And the Cowboys go into this game without their best offensive player in CeeDee Lamb. Now, Dak Prescott, the most important, CeeDee Lamb, the best. Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan still says no regrets for having CD running a play like he did.
There's no regret, no.
Liar.
That goes with it. That's been an effective play for us over the last few years, one that we will take advantage of when he gets back. But those injuries, that injury during the course of that ball game was he was exposed at the right time. We needed him and everything he could bring at that time in that ball game.
I totally agree with what he just said there, but not putting him as a solo back in the backfield and running between the tackles. Get him involved on the outside, maybe an end around, maybe something where you take advantage of his speed. I don't want him running up the middle on a running play with nobody in front of him. That's just, again, has to be the dumbest play I've seen in a long time.
And if he would have ripped that off for a long touchdown run, we'd say something completely different.
It still would have been a different play. The fact of the matter is he didn't, and even if he didn't get hurt, the play loses 2 or 3 yards.
Well, and again, now you're going to face a really good Green Bay team and extremely shorthanded.
Make no mistake about it, Green Bay will be out to make a stop in that running game. And we're going to have to really be on our best game, so to speak, with the Green Bay team and Micah sitting over there, which I'm sure you'll get to later. But the whole point is that this is par for the course relative to today's NFL, relative to dealing with shorthands in terms of personnel. Good news is we got Clowney teed up and ready to go, and we've got some adjustments we can make, we think, and give us a better pass rush out there that you'll see when we line up against Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, if Green Bay's going to pack the line of scrimmage to try and shut down that running game, which is the best part of the Cowboys' offense at this point in time, especially without CeeDee Lamb, then you got to take advantage of that. Guys like Jalen Tolbert have to be prepared, have to make an adjustment. George Pickens is going to get all the attention.
Yep.
So guys like Tolbert and Turpin are going to have to come through and make some plays.
And Micah is going to try to take down Dak Prescott.
Of course.
Multiple times. And where do you figure? Is he going to go after Terrence Steele or is he going to go after Tyler Guyton?
Either way, he should win either battle.
And if you double or triple team him, I know it's personal for Jerry, even though he says it's not. But with Micah there, at least be competitive.
Yes, I do. And I think that, of course, I have said this time and time again, I think the world of Micah. And as an individual, and, of course, know him well. And I might say I wish him well, except it's obvious I don't this weekend in terms of Green Bay winning the ball game. And so it makes for an exciting time, and I'm anxious to see if over the years when I saw Michael mitigated, when I saw teams playing pretty well, which he's going to make some plays no matter how you play. But when I saw people play us well with Micah in the game, and it did happen, then obviously we'll be looking to try to run those kinds of plays.
Well, there you go. That solves everything. Look, what does Micah have? 1 sack so far this year?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's got some hurries, and he makes a difference. I'm not saying that, but he hasn't exactly set the world on fire in Green Bay. So they'll double team him. That's for sure. But the problem there is the Packers have a pretty good guy on the other end too.
Yep.
And so if you're messing with Parsons, you got to worry about somebody else also.
And again, you look at all of it. Mike is going to be more fired up for this one, probably than any other game he's ever played. He's going to want to put on a show. He's going to want Jerry to regret making the decision that Jerry made. And hopefully the Cowboys can use that to their advantage. if he's emotionally high, can they bait him into something? Can Dak force him to spit on him pregame and get tossed out of the game? What kind of tricks do the Cowboys have up their sleeve to get Micah Parsons controlled in this one?
Well, yeah, Dak Prescott, just when they're hugging each other, he said, "Your mama is so fat."
Oh, stop.
Let's give him a good mama joke.
No. Good Lord.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's going to be fun. I hope. I hope it's going to be fun because we're going to be there.
Yep.
So I hope it's fun.
Oh, it's fun no matter what when you go to a game. It's always a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun.
Going to a game in person is always a lot of fun. Now, the end of the game might not be fun, but for the most part, it's a great time going in person.
It is a great time. By the way, on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, just to correct somebody was saying Tyler Booker is out on injury. That is accurate, but Tyler Guyton is not. Tyler Guyton is going to play. Art Garcia was saying Guyton out on injury. Guyton, as far as I know, is not injured. He's in there. He's ready to go.
So it's just in the YouTube because neither one of us said that Guyton was out.
No, just on the YouTube page.
Now, Micah might hurt Guyton on Sunday.
He might. Although I'll never forget, Jason. I remember it well. Training camp. Damn, look at Tyler Guyton. He's taking care of Micah Parsons. He's doing a great job on him.
He was.
And he was.
He was.
And then everything went to hell after that. Sure did. You know what, though? We're going to brighten our smiles because Indie Koo, the legend at Marshall High School, the legend at Rice University, and the Houston Texans legend, Indie Koo, will join us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, as you think about that game coming up Sunday, Packers and Cowboys, and I haven't checked yet, but I'm probably going to go higher, whatever they have set for Micah Parsons and sacks on my Underdog Pick'em entry, because Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Of course, you can play here in Texas, and it's easy to do. You go higher or lower on predicted stats, sacks, touchdowns, receiving yards, rushing yards. You can play for as little as $1, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code STAR to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Again, promo code STAR. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Use promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protectyourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/sports. openphone.com/SPORTS.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
We're going to be tested this week. I know what the numbers say. I get it. They have given up some explosives, but this is a good football team we're getting ready to go play. They've got good players on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Hey, man, this is the National Football League, and these guys will be a challenge for us, and should be a heck of a football game.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings. Presented by AA Best Bell Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The only thing keeping Cowboy fans with a smile on their face at 1-2 is the fact that, well, the Texans are 0-3.
You know, that's where you're so wrong.
Is that bad?
Cowboy fans don't give a damn about the Texans.
That's the other way around.
The way Texans care about Big Brother. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It is the Blitz. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Let's talk about what's going on down in Houston with our good friend, the pride of Pat Neff Middle School, Indie Koo, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Indy 0-3, dude. What the hell?
Pat Neff reference. You just turned a bad day into a pretty good day with the Pat Neff Texans reference. Shout out to all my Pat Neff Texans out there.
Hey, wow. Man, it's I think Square Pizza Day somewhere.
Yeah,
and,
I'm sure it is.
There's got to be something that could get Indy to smile because, boy, when we started the season, you were talking about wet dreams, and I imagine that those have faded.
Oh, my goodness. Well, first of all, let's stay positive. The Houston Texans are the best 0-3 team out there, and there's quite a few of them out there. So they are the best 0-3 team out there.
Are they?
So let's start positive.
Are they, though?
Yeah, we got the Saints. I got it pulled up. We got the Saints, the Titans, the Texans, obviously, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets. And, they got to be the best 0-3 team out there.
So you're looking down the road and you're staying positive, Indy. I like that.
I'm staying positive.
I got to ask you, first of all, about the surprising news today. CJ Gardner-Johnson released after 3 games. We were all shocked here at the station. What about you?
I just found out 30 minutes ago, and I was pretty surprised. Now, you hear the rumors that, he may not be the best locker room guy. And, again, this is all speculation on my part. But when you hear those rumors and then you're going to a team that you're expecting when you sign, this is a team that's going to win the division, and you start 0-3, like your true character, starts to shine. So maybe that was a situation where they saw his true character and they didn't like it. So, that part is a surprise. And I'll say this, as nice of a human being as DeMeco Ryans is, he has a smile that brightens up the entire room. He's still a dog. Like, he's still a middle linebacker that was taking people's heads off in the NFL. If you're going against the culture that he's trying to put out there, especially when times are bad, and, being that cancer in the locker room, for lack of a better term, he'll get rid of you quick. So I think he's showing everybody, look, just because things aren't going the way we wanted, I still expect you to act a certain way.
Indy, decade plus in the NFL, not everybody in the locker room's a nice dude. You're not friends with everybody. So how bad does it have to be to get released 3 weeks into a season, and locker room character is one of the reasons, according to sources, as to why?
No, that's a great question, but it's not about – because you're right. I played with a lot of jerks. I played with a lot of dudes that off the field we didn't have anything in common, or I didn't even respect the way they carried themselves off the field or outside of the locker room. Emphasis on off the field or outside of the locker room. But even if there is that jerk, you have the same goal in mind. And when you go into that locker room, which is sacred grounds, when you're in those meeting rooms and we're all trying to complete the same goal, you're expected to conduct yourself a certain way. Hell, let's be real. I played with some guys that probably just didn't like me like the way I looked. But when we're on that field together, we all had the same goal and we fought for it. So, yeah, you're right about it. Like, there are some jerks out there, and switch it up. There's some nice guys that might not buy into what Coach Minix is saying. That's more disruptive than, a jerk who actually buys into what they're saying. So, no, it doesn't matter what type of character they have, but if they're not all in with the message that's coming from the top, that could be very disruptive.
Well, and I would have to imagine, Indy, if a guy's in the locker room just complaining and bad-mouthing the coach or whatever, and, man, they should be using me different. I mean, that's got to take a toll on the other guys, I would think.
No, it does. And, I'm putting it all together. And, again, I'm speculating and trying to fill in gaps. With the way the defense has been playing and they're still 0-3, I would not be surprised. And, again, I have not heard anything, but this is what we do on Sports Talk Radio. We just fill in the gaps. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's, man, Will Anderson, you had a great game. Too bad the offense isn't doing their part. Man, you're wasting your career over here. So I would not be surprised if something like that is what's going on, especially the way the Texan defense is playing.
Indie Koo here on the Blitz. Aaron Wilson tweeted out friction behind the
Wilson
scenes.
Or Aaron Wilson? Aaron Wilson or Arian Wilson?
Tweeted out friction behind the scenes, criticism of teammates, complaints about his role, including wanting to blitz more frequently, and he asked for a trade request. Now, this is a guy, won a Super Bowl with Phillies, been in Detroit, been in the programs that I would think DeMeco would want. Like, hey, you know what it was like in those programs. Bring some of that here. You're not getting that. But as a Texans analyst, how was CJ Gardner-Johnson on the field through 3 games? How much is his departure going to affect this defense?
Real quick, I know Aaron Wilson, and he won't mind being called Arian Wilson. It was just real quick.
I was just leaving that one alone. I thought you might know something that I did, and I was going to text you later going, what the hell was that?
Oh, no, I actually thought you said Arian Wilson. That's why I was like, hold on. But anyway, to answer your question, it always felt like, I don't know how closely y'all watched him, but I watched him very closely because I knew him from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was injured for most of preseason. I still felt like he was still trying to get his legs under him. It didn't look like the CJ Gardner that I was used to seeing. I don't know if it was the age. I don't know if it was, not being 100% coming back from the injury. But I don't think they're going to miss much, especially with Jimmy Ward expected to come back. Yeah, he's a big name. I thought he he was the type of player that fit in. That's what I was trying to think of. That fit in with that defense, hard hitting, plays on the edge. That's what that defense does. But when they're in the locker room, they're kumbaya. They're all great guys who get along. But on the field, I didn't see the old CJ, so I don't think we're going to watch that game against the Tennessee Titans and look at any plays and say, oh, that's where they're missing CJ Gardner.
All right, well, from one CJ to another CJ, and we're talking about CJ Stroud. Look, I can't blame everything on the offensive line anymore, Indy. I really can't. It just doesn't look like there's any rhythm at all. First of all, there's no running game at all with the Texans. They can't seem to get anything going there. And it just doesn't seem like anything is clicking right now offensively.
I want to disagree with you, but I'm with you as still a CJ Stroud fan. And this is when you find out if you truly have a leader. If you can point to, hey, remember that time, 6 weeks ago, there was a bad 3-game stretch, but he fought his way out of it. So you're really going to be able to test to see what type of mental toughness this young man has and what type of leader he can be in the future. But I'm with you. There were plays where I said to myself, can't blame that one on the offensive line. Can't blame that on the running game. Like that there were some plays that you expected your franchise quarterback to make that you didn't see him make. And there's also times now where I hate to keep bringing this guy up because I talked about him last week after he beat the Texans along with the rest of his team. But I get this sense like Baker Mayfield, he's the type of quarterback that will make something out of nothing. And right now, I just don't see CJ making something out of nothing, which is a lot to ask a young quarterback. But if you want to be thought of as one of the greats, that's just what you have to do, and I'm not seeing it right now.
0-3 on the year, rough last year. Is it possible that CJ Stroud's best year was his rookie year, and maybe that's as good as it is, and now that there's enough tape on him, he just isn't that guy, to the point we've got a Texans fan that listened to this show that loves the dude. Called yesterday and talked about how much CJ sucks and should not get paid this offseason, figuring he's in line for a contract worth north of $60 million a year.
Look, when I was driving in my 1994 F-150 earlier today, I was actually thinking about that, all jokes aside, and I was I hope this isn't the real CJ. I hope the CJ we saw his rookie year is the real one. And I was trying to convince myself, like, there's no way you have a rookie year like that and fall off. But then a former quarterback from one of my former teams, like, his name just popped in my head. And do y'all know where I'm going with this before I say it?
No.
Good. Good. It's going to be a surprise. So,
okay.
And I probably said it.
You've played with so many quarterbacks, man. I'm not sure which one is popping into your head.
I didn't play with this guy, but my thought was, are we looking at a Carson Wentz situation where Carson Wentz was freaking MVP candidate, and probably the only reason he didn't win it that year is because I believe he got hurt like the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then he just fell off. And I was like, what happened to Carson Wentz? I hope that this is not a situation like that where for whatever reason everything was clicking early on and then reality set in.
Well, I hope not either, although Carson Wentz played pretty good Sunday for Minnesota. So
6 teams in 6 years, but he was going to be the franchise.
He was.
I think that is a great comparison, Indie Koo.
Well, I hope it's not Jason Minix. I want somebody to say that's a horrible comparison, and you're wrong. It's not going to happen. So, but yeah, that was the name that I was, oh, man, I hope this is what we're witnessing.
Well, Indy, when 0-3, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Still a lot of season left to be played. I mean, just in from your professional experience watching, the defense is still playing well. They're doing okay, although Jacksonville is that was an ugly football game. Let's just get that out of the way. Offensively for both teams, it was pretty ugly. But in that division, I think the Texans are okay. So watching the game on the off, what do they need to do to get this thing fixed?
Big plays. You got to have those big plays that you're just not seeing outside of the opening drive where Nico Collins reminded people that he's still a very good wide receiver, but I'm not seeing enough big plays. I don't know if y'all watched the Baltimore Ravens-Detroit game.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of ugly defensive plays where, the defensive coordinator's probably upset, but just that entire game was so entertaining, and it was just big play after big play on both sides of the ball. Even when you saw the mistakes and you saw, obviously, the huge mistake by Derrick Henry, for some reason, when I watch the Texans offense, I just don't see enough big plays. You might get one or two, and it's like, come on, man, this is the NFL. Like, one, you're going to have to score over 21 points if you want a chance to win, and to do that, your stars have to consistently make big plays. And I'm not seeing it.
It's interesting because I said earlier in the show, watching last night's game on Monday Night Football, Detroit and Baltimore, that's the way football should be. And yet Sunday, watching the Texans and then watching the Cowboys, it's like watching a completely different sport. Now, could you take the Houston defense and marry it with the Cowboys offense and special teams to create a team that could compete with Detroit or Baltimore?
But is the Cowboys – and I'm not even talking trash because I'm with you, watching that game. But is the Cowboys offense that much better than the Texans offense, especially without CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah, outside of the Chicago game, I expect what I'm seeing from the Cowboys defensively, I'd say is kind of what I expect. I look at that offense with the weapons they have. Obviously, the CD injury will factor in, but that offense should score around 30 points a game.
Ooh, well, if you could have that offense, the Texans defense, and I don't mind taking the Texans. It'll be a toss-up for the. Oh no,
Brandon Aubrey, dude.
I
yeah.
I should slap myself. That would be nice if we can do a Texas All-Star team to compete with the rest of the NFL because all three phases aren't kicking for either team. That would be nice.
Kickers were pretty bad this week, so I was thinking about you a lot when I saw all these blocks and stuff like that, Indy. But that's for another day. I want to ask you a question because I respect your look at everything. CeeDee Lamb lines up in the backfield, nobody else with him. Cowboys hand the ball off to him, and he tries to run between the tackles. Obviously, he gets hurt, and that's why everybody thinks I'm mad about it. But the play would have lost 2 or 3 yards anyway. Was that a smart play?
No, and it's easy for us to say it's not a smart play because it didn't work. But, think about it. At what point when you're with the rest of your coaching staff and you're the offensive coordinator and you're like, you know what, I got an idea. Let's get this 180-pound wide receiver and put him in the backfield and have him run in between the tackles. There isn't anything about that play that you say that makes sense, even when you're drawing it up on the whiteboard. Now, it would have been different if you saw the play last night, which I know y'all did. I can't remember exactly. Oh, no, it was Amon St. Brown.
Yeah.
He lined up in the backfield,
yeah,
and it was a sweep. Man, that was a sweet play. It was a sweep, SWEEP, and the quarterback gave it to the receiver, and the receiver pitched it off at the last second. That's something I could see CeeDee Lamb if you want to put him in the backfield. But to run in between the tackles, I don't see how or why that would ever make sense.
For the record, it's a play that they've run multiple times a season since CeeDee's been there.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he had 14 rushes last year, 14 the year before. It's been a part of their offense. But when you get hurt,
it's still your best weapon, and you don't put him in harm's way that way. And to me, it's just a dumb play. It needs to be taken out of the playbook. I don't care how many times they've run it before.
I'm with you on that. You don't put CeeDee, like you said, your best player, a smaller guy. That's not. I'm with you. Even if they've run it, I'll tell you what. I'm surprised Jerry Jones, even after it worked or he didn't get hurt, I'm surprised he didn't run down and say, "Hey, don't do that again." Don't run that again.
No argument. Although Jerry did say no regrets. Although I don't believe him. What's it like this week for all the kickers in those NFL locker rooms that had their kicks blocked? Now, I know you love kickers, Indy. Do you blame the kickers for having all those kicks blocked, or is that other guys that take the blame?
No, I was going to say, I'm not sure we could blame all the kickers because especially with the most exciting play when it comes to a block kick with the Philadelphia Eagles.
That was awful.
Jordan Davis blocking the pick.
That was
picking
awful.
It up,
Yeah, that cost me money, Indy. That cost me money.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Rams plus 3.5. He should have slid down.
I'm sure it cost quite a few people money.
Yes,
but
it did.
You have to look at the field goal protection as well. Now, if the kicker, if it's a low kick, then that's definitely on the kicker. But if you see that penetration get through, then you can't blame the kicker. That's a protection. If the penetration goes through and it seeps through, it's kind of like that condom that breaks. You can't blame the man. It's not his fault. It's the fault of the protection. So with a lot of those field goals leaking through, you got to blame the protection.
Speaking of, man, how's your kid doing up in Waco after Arizona State got that win on Saturday?
Speaking of breaking through and not being planned, that kid, yeah. He actually had his best game as a collegiate, so it was bittersweet. I was upset with that devastating loss, but I was very proud of young DK with the number of snaps he took and the plays that he had. It's tough to see nose tackles and really get a feel for what they're doing. But when it's your kid and that's all you're watching, I had to tell him, man, I'm proud of you. So I was happy for him, but upset with the results.
Indy, I got to ask you real quick before we go. You heard, I'm sure, Mike Gundy fired today. Dave Aranda, what kind of hot seat is he sitting on there at Baylor?
You know what? He's put himself in a position the way he came back last season after a poor start, where I feel like this is his mulligan year, and if they have a bad year, then next year will be the hot seat. And I don't think Baylor's the type of program where they will fire a coach mid-season. I could be wrong, but I just don't see that. So I would say his seat is it's somewhat comfortable. Now, if they go lose to Oklahoma State, it's going to start to get a little warmer.
Yeah, you can't lose to Oklahoma State now. They fired Gundy today.
And they lost to Tulsa.
And they lost to
Oregon
Tulsa.
spanked their little heinies.
I know. And we haven't asked you because I think we all know the answer. Does Houston get their first win Sunday?
It has to be yes, right? Is that the answer?
You get Tennessee.
Yeah, another 0-3 team. So I'm saying yes, but I don't know if y'all are agreeing with me on that one when you said we all know the answer, because I know how you don't have as much faith in the Houston Texans, the best 0-3 team in the NFL. I know you don't have as much faith in them as I do, but yes, they get their first win against the Tennessee Titans.
I love Cam Ward, but as much faith as I have in Houston, I have less faith in the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they're awful.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of when I was with the Washington Redskins. We were 0-7. We were playing the Philadelphia Eagles. They were 0-6 at the time, and I was like a young whippersnapper. And I looked into the stands, and I saw a sign, and it said, "May the worst team lose." And I actually chuckled to myself when I saw that.
Those are the glory days of the NFC East.
Yeah. The good old days.
The good old days.
The great Indie Koo, San Antonio Sports Hall of Famer, analyst with the Houston Texans. Always enjoy it, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
Y'all keep up the great work. Talk to you next week.
Good stuff. Indie Koo on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online, buyersbarricades.com.
It is September 23rd, 2025, and I hope you have that tape because Indie Koo actually took up for kickers during that segment.
Kinda.
That's the first.
Kinda.
Well, referring to them and condoms in the same sentence. So I guess I'd take that how you will. I'm not sure. We got a lot more to talk about when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, it is game on at Synergenics and Low T Center, the MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. Ready to tackle low energy and achieve your health goals like a pro? Go get tested. Synergenics and Low T Center have been changing the lives of men across the country for well over a decade with the most medically driven, results-focused care to restore the patient's lives. And again, for the better, they do that through hormone care. So if you've noticed that you're just not motivated, you're tired. It's not just getting older, it's a physical and mental change to your body, and testosterone therapy can and does help. They've got clinics all around the San Antonio area, and what's cool now, you can go to the clinic or you can receive at-home treatment. Does start, though, with a quick test at the center. When I say quick, takes about 20 minutes, and if you get your results back there because they have the on-site lab. If you need it, you could start treatment right then. Centergenics and Low T Center also has a long history of helping ladies find their hormonal balance. So go get tested and do it now. You could win some really cool stuff. Book a free TRT consultation, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia or tickets to a major sporting event, and they select winners every week. So book that appointment, trtmvp.com. Go to the website, trtmvp.com.
You're riding with a Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back, my emotions are stable, and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Bad news for Oklahoma. Their quarterback and Heisman frontrunner John Mateer is going to undergo surgery on his right hand tomorrow. The head coach there expects him back at some point, he says, during the season. We'll wait and see. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas today that newly acquired defensive lineman Jadeveon Clowney is expected to make his debut this week against the Green Bay Packers.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday afternoon in San Antonio, so happy to have you rolling along with us on a Tuesday. We're happy however you may be listening. We appreciate it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And especially if you're on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, go over there, like, and subscribe. We've got a poll up. Should Micah Parsons get a video tribute this Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys? I took a poll. 83 votes at this point in time, which is not quite enough, but it's pretty overwhelming that most people say absolutely not.
Yeah, it's interesting watching the numbers, and I think we need to get at least 100 votes to make it.
I agree with that.
So go vote in the poll, and if you vote yes, he should, in the comments, tell us why. I don't think he should, and he's not getting one. Jerry has already said no. But tell us why, if you do think he should get a video tribute Sunday. He's not, but, and most people in the poll agree with Joe and me, 71% say no.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely. I wish there was a instead of a yes or no, absolutely not.
No,
are you
or
effing
absolutely
kidding?
not.
Are you effing kidding me?
Yes, no, absolutely not. Are you? Can we get 4? No, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding, too.
I mean,
it's ridiculous to even think that. And the fact that the question came up is like, what?
Well, now I get why the question comes up. It's 2025, and that's what happens. I mean, I appreciate Sam. Foxtrot uniform, Charlie Kilo, November, Oscar on Should There Be a Video Tribute.
So if you can spell, kids, then you know exactly what Sam said there.
Yep.
And I agree with you completely, Sam. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
See, now you get Justin say, I clicked yes on accident.
Uh-huh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
You're a dumb butt.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. And speaking of Jeff Traylor, his news is in the his name is in the news because Mike Gundy got fired today at Oklahoma State.
After 21 years.
And surprising yet not. It's nuts when you look at it and you think about maybe it was time. You fired him mid-season. Not even mid-season. It's September. You lost to Tulsa. You're going to get fired. But he just redid his deal in December. Took $1 million a year pay cut. And lowered his buyout from $25 million to $15 million. And then they fire him in September. Now, he took the pay cut to help with the revenue share at Oklahoma State. But at the same time, now there's all the different names being thrown out that could be replacements for Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. You go to Sports Illustrated, Jeff Traylor listed number 1 on the 10 candidates they have, and it's Jeff Traylor's picture on there. G.J. Kinney is mentioned. The OC at Oklahoma right now, his name is getting a lot of buzz. But when you have a program that's had success, like UTSA, like Texas State, those coaches' names for jobs higher up the ladder, those names are going to be a part of the conversation every time.
Well, and you look at the names. We'll just take Traylor and G.J. Kinney. I mean, those two guys are young coaches, up-and-coming coaches that have done a good job at the places that they've been. And, of course, they're going to get looks. I mean, that's the future of coaching in college football, as you're looking at it right there. And we're fortunate enough to have both of those guys with Kenny's situation, UIW, and now Texas State, and Jeff Traylor with what he's done at UTSA. So they're going to get mentioned. They're going to get offers. They're going to get looked at by all of these schools. And this won't be the last. If neither one of those guys get this Oklahoma State job, there will be others. We talked to Indie Koo earlier about Dave Aranda. He doesn't think that no matter what happens this season, he's on the hot seat. But I'm not so sure about that. He's going to have to win eventually, so eventually that job's going to pop open.
Well, and I've heard Eric Morris's name already rumored for the Baylor job if Baylor were to move on. And Eric's name, depending on what list you look at, is associated with the job at Oklahoma State. You know, the regional part of it, I think, is certainly there. Jeff Traylor, I don't think, would fall in the young coach category at this point in his life, but the culture builder, and that's one of the things that Sports Illustrated writes. The fit in Stillwater is perfect. Or are they going to go for one of those young offensive-minded, the next genius is? They all have big buyouts. That's the name of the game for smaller universities now. Remember, Jeff Traylor was flirting with Texas Tech and signed that massive contract in 2021, 10 years, $28 million, with a $7.5 million buyout. Well, that buyout's down to $4 or $5 million now. G.J. Kinney just signed a new deal, and basically his buyout's 50% of what's left on his contract. Oklahoma State, if that's who they want, buyouts aren't going to be an issue.
No, of course not. And they had to pay Gundy $15 million to walk out the door.
And they saved 10 because it would have been 25 if he didn't redo his deal.
There you go. They may not have fired him in that case. It means, well, the guy's not so bad. He's all right.
He lost to Tulsa.
Absolutely. Wait, I want to go back to something. Did you call Jeff Traylor old? Did I hear that come out of your mouth? You called him old.
I did. I said he's not one of those younger coaches anymore.
You said he was old. I'm pretty sure that's what you said. That dude's old. He's over the hill.
That's not what I said.
No?
That's not what I said. But I wouldn't put him at 57, I wouldn't put him in the young coach category at this point.
So what, is it 30 or 40 is the young coach category?
That would be young coach. Some of those guys in their 20s. Once you get over 50.
I'm a man. I'm
40. Once you get over 50, you're in the you had a good run category.
Wow.
And no longer young.
You know, there's coaches that coach. Look at Bill Belichick, 73. And he's still coaching.
He is. But he's not in the young category. I mean, his girlfriend is, but he isn't.
That means Traylor's got 20 years left in coaching.
I mean, he could.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Coach. Jason Minnick said you were old.
Yeah. I mean, when you compare him to G.J. Kinney.
How old is Kinney? Is he in his 30s?
Let me look that up.
He's a young dude. Eric Morris is young, right? He's got it in his 40s maybe. These guys are all going to get tapped in. And look, I hope Jeff
G.J.
Traylor
is 36.
36. I hope that Traylor stays at UTSA forever. But the chances of that happening, I think, are slim and none just because of the success that he's having. But we'll see.
Eric Morris is 39. Jeff Traylor's 57.
Jeff, you're old, buddy. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, look, and I know Eric well. He's got young kids. GJ's got young kids.
Well, Jeff's
an empty nester. Yes.
Yeah, he coached Kenny. He was his quarterback out there in East Texas.
Mm-hmm. You know, I do wonder, and to your point, because I truly believe Jeff Traylor when he says he loves this city and wants to be here for a long time, if not forever.
Yeah.
We've talked about that on the radio, off the radio. I mean, he loves this city. But in the changing culture of college athletics and the rev share model, the portal, you can recruit a guy. Look at Trey Moore. You recruit a guy, you bring him in, you develop him, and Texas can just pay him a lot of money. and off he goes to Austin. What did Jeff Traylor on with us yesterday? If Gundy would have gotten fired yesterday, boy, that conversation would have been completely different. Although he would have said, when you have a successful program, your name is going to be talked about, comes with the territory. And he would reiterate how much he loves it here. But to get to a place where he doesn't have to be the biggest fundraiser, where money isn't always going to be an issue, where you can't compete for that player because of the money, I would think every coach is trying to climb that ladder and get to a place where $20 million is the rev share model. Here you go. Here's $20 million.
Which brings up a pretty good point, I think, when you're talking about the current state of college football. When you're paying players now, and they are on a payroll, very similar to the NFL, and you don't have success, are schools now going to blame the coach and start firing coaches sooner rather than later? Now, I know buyouts have a big deal to do with that, but think about that. That's what happens in the NFL. You're paying these guys a lot of money, but if they're not successful, it's the coach that usually gets the hook. And I wonder if that's going to start happening now in college football. And I think Jeff Gundy. I think Gundy is a
prime example.
A prime example of that.
But when you look at not only the head coach, the general managers that are now a part of college football, the athletic directors, and quite frankly, school presidents are going to be a lot more accountable for the success of athletics, especially in football, when you've got so much money being donated to all these different funds. It's now a lot more on the shoulders of just the head coach. It's everybody involved. And, I saw a tweet from one of the Texas State groups, Bobcat Nation, if you want GJ to stay at Texas State, lead us to conference championships, blah, 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 blah. 1, buy season tickets. 2, donate to the Bobcat Club. Because these coaches all have to have money, and everyone that you talk to or hear in an interview, they talk about this being an unsustainable model, the way it is right now. And you'll see more and more coaches, especially as they get older, saying, I can't do this all the time. I don't want to do this all the time. Dabo doesn't want to deal with the portal, doesn't want to deal with this and that. And look at what's happening to his program right now. Gundy was kind of that way. Kind of likes things old school. Jeff Traylor has been on record with us, doesn't mind those guys getting paid, hates the portal, especially when it was 2 windows, excited about it only being 1. But he's also their biggest fundraiser. And should the coach really be your biggest fundraiser?
Absolutely not. Should be a big part of it. I just as far as you want the coach to succeed, but no, he shouldn't be. He should not be. And UTSA again is they're a young program. They're only 15 years old, for goodness sakes. You're talking about an Oklahoma State that's been around a long time, and some of these other schools that raise the money that they need have been around a long time. They're kind of behind the 8 ball in that sense. And I say that just to say it's going to take a while for UTSA to catch up with some of these other schools when it comes to fundraising. It just is. You just don't have a lot of people here and tied into a football program like you do at Texas A&M, and Oklahoma State. And so a guy like Jeff Traylor at some point in time is going to be lured away. That's my opinion, not Jeff Traylor's opinion.
Well, and again, I would fully expect Oklahoma State to at least call. Jeff's got to listen because that's what you do. But they'll call a lot of people. What I find interesting, you think about Gundy has been there for so long, and very few get to choose their departure. Very few get to say, you know what, I've had a good run. It's time to hand it over. But to get fired in September after redoing your deal in December seems a little odd. According to Brett McMurphy, Oklahoma State AD Chad Weiberg, and this tweet's about 10 minutes old, said Mike Gundy was not given the option to finish the season, and this was a long-term decision. Quote, I'm not worried about this week's game or the next 2 weeks. I'm worried about next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now.
Well, I think look, the guy's been there for 21 years. And it's a long time to have one guy at the helm of a football team. He's had some success and he's had some failure. But, I mean, let's face it, the administration obviously thinking they need a breath of fresh air, whoever that is going to be, and it's not Mike Gundy. And you start out 1-2 and get your butt kicked the way they have been, then, things move along. But that just goes to my point, I think. We're spending $20 million, the maximum we can spend, and you still have a subpar football team on the field. So they're not going to blame the players. They're going to blame you, and that's what happened, I think, to Mike Gundy, and that's why he's no longer involved with Oklahoma State. But it's going to be fun to find out who takes over for him. We got a ways to go before that happens, but I know there'll be rumors for sure. NFL football, a lot happening in the NFL over the weekend, a lot happening here, a lot of injuries to deal with. We're talking about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Sam now has a full line of Tommy Bahama gear, so if you want your logo on a nice Tommy Bahama shirt, go see Sam. And it's not just the variety of styles of golf shirts, but he's also going to have the quarter zips, jackets, you name it. You want your logo on Tommy Bahama, go see Sam. The prices are incredible, and that includes your logo on it. Need your logo on any other kind of shirt? He's got all the big name brands as well. North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Mathew, Under Armour, Port Authority, to name a few. Need T-shirts, screen printed? Sam will get you taken care of. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America in stock, waiting on your logo. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. And Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900. 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, about a mile inside Loop 410, right there across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, Sunday night at 7:20. The Cowboys take on the Green Bay Packers at Jerry World in Arlington. Pregame at 6.
I like this kind of party!
Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/sports. Openphone.com/SPORTS.
My brother-in-law died suddenly,
And now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. We'll look back at the last weekend of football and look forward to the next one, Rob. We even got a game tomorrow.
Hey, we'll talk football on both sides of the fence, and we are joined by the head coach of your fighting Texas Aggie, Mike Elko, as they get ready for Auburn.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's.
We're almost there, Jason.
Yeah?
97 votes on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. The poll question, should Micah Parsons have a video tribute Sunday night when he and the Green Bay Packers come into Jerry World to take on the Dallas Cowboys? 97 votes. We're just about there. We need at least 100 before we can make this thing official. So call your friends, your family, your neighbors. Tell them to get on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, like and subscribe there, and then vote in the poll as well. Right now, no is running away with it, 72% to 28%. But the 28%, I'm wondering what you're smoking. Or are you drinking early? Or
I mean, kids
something.
are kids, and it's what happens now.
I guess.
There's an interesting story as we talk NFL football and pipe dream. I'm sure the comments on our YouTube page are going to be incredible. But the Saints might be looking for a new home again. Could the Alamo Dome be in play? Could Project Marvel and the renovations that are scheduled for the Alamo Dome, could they be in play to get the Saints? It's an interesting article that's on Pro Football Talk. So the Superdome, they're having lease issues. Now, according to the New Orleans newspaper, the new lease has actually been fully negotiated but hasn't been signed because of pending deals related to properties around the Superdome. The other agreements relate to Benson Tower, Champion Square, and the Saints practice facility. The state wants to sign the Superdome deal before focusing on other talks. The team, predictable, hopes to leverage the Superdome deal to get better terms on the three incomplete agreements. Now, I understand what the practice facility is. I'm going to assume the other two are probably some sort of entertainment area that's around every new building, stadium, or arena that is getting built. Very similar to what we've talked about with Project Marvel. Boy, I would love for our mayor to come on the show so we could talk about this, but
I want a deal. I want a deal.
But she doesn't. Now, there's a interesting part of the article in the New Orleans newspaper, and quite frankly, a tweet from the writer Jeff Duncan. The future of the team in New Orleans is at risk. They've already lost out because they don't have this done yet on hosting the 2031 Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
The stakes become much higher if the possibility of relocation arises, which leaves the question, where would the Saints go? San Antonio used to be the most mentioned alternative, but the Texans and Cowboys would surely fight tooth and nail. But there are other cities. London is there. But San Antonio, with a revamped Alamo Dome as a part of Project Marvel, might get the Saints actually interested. But they're having lease issues, not necessarily with the building, because apparently that's done, but it's the other stuff around it that is so important to all of these teams and seemingly cities to create the entertainment district. What else can we do when the building isn't hosting a big game?
Absolutely, and it makes perfect sense, does it not? That's why Project Marvel makes perfect sense. Now, a part of that Project Marvel, as you mentioned, is updating the Alamo Dome, expanding the Alamo Dome and making it a little bit bigger. I would assume that would entail suites and everything else, especially if there was the call for a football team. And I disagree with the writer there, and I don't think either one of those teams would have an issue. And I'm talking about the Cowboys or the Texans.
I
know the Cowboys wouldn't. Jerry Jones has said that to you. He said it to me. He said it to every reporter that asked him the question about San Antonio. He would not. It's what he says. He would not stand in the way of a professional football team in San Antonio. He would not. Unless the man's just lying to everybody's face. Well, and I just don't believe that he is.
The reality is, and what Jerry has said on this program before, when it comes to San Antonio getting a team, he would support it. And he technically has when other teams were kicking the tires on San Antonio. I know Red McCombs said on this show one time that Jerry was in his corner when they were trying to get the Chargers here. But the mayor at the time, Ed Garza, was more focused on soccer. That's what Red had said on this show. Then when the Raiders were looking, again, Jerry seemed supportive. Both AFC teams, and Red couldn't bring the Vikings here because their lease agreement, because that always comes up. Well, why didn't Red, when he owned the Vikings, move in here? They couldn't get out of that deal. But I know that Bob McNair, who has since passed, was against San Antonio getting a team, specifically an AFC team, because of the way the old TV contracts worked. The NFC were always on Fox.
Right.
The AFC were on CBS. And if an AFC team were to move to San Antonio, the Texans would lose San Antonio, Austin, and the Valley. And Houston still doesn't necessarily own Harris County, yet, which is true. Remember back in the day, they used to do all these outreach programs, bring players in, do all this kind of stuff, and they stopped doing that because they needed to focus on their home city first and then try to grow. But they would completely lose on the old TV deal, South Texas, if an AFC team were to move here.
But see,
now that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The TV rules have changed.
Well, they not only that, but everything's streaming.
Yeah.
Everybody's, if you've got DirecTV, or it's not DirecTV anymore, it's YouTube with the Sunday Ticket. If you got a Magic Box, if you're streaming everything else, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. You can watch whatever team you want to watch.
But it did when it was there. That's why I say rules have changed. So maybe the Texans wouldn't fight it.
Look, they wouldn't fight it. I can't imagine that they would fight it. The problem is that, look, the Saints were coming to San Antonio. I'm convinced of it. I heard it from a Benson.
Yeah.
Directly from his mouth. He is no longer with us, but I heard that. They were coming. They were moving to San Antonio. And then Hurricane Katrina happened, and the NFL stepped in and told Tom Benson it would be a major PR disaster if he moved that football team out of New Orleans. They were headed here. When they had 3 games here during Katrina, and every one of them was a sellout, and it was just a crazy, crazy atmosphere inside the Alamo Dome, it was so much fun, and it would be so much fun to have that team here. Cowboy fans would still be Cowboy fans.
Mm-hmm.
It would not matter one bit. They'd get behind the San Antonio Saints or whatever the heck you want to call them. I just don't think, and anytime there's talk like this, I want to get excited about it. But we've been the bridesmaid in San Antonio so many times that I just cannot believe that they're going to let the Saints slip out of New Orleans, and this is
what I
just
find,
something we're talking
what
about.
I find comical in this Pro Football Talk article where it just completely poo-poo San Antonio, Mike Florio does. It's his byline on this article because the Cowboys and Saints would fight it. Other cities include Orlando, Salt Lake, and Oklahoma City. You think Jerry wouldn't fight Oklahoma City as much as he would San Antonio?
Well,
I mean, to me, it's a dumb argument. The question that I have is, I didn't realize all this was going on in New Orleans to the point where they're threatening relocation. We've got an NBA team that is willing to invest a couple of $1 billion of their own money into a project, and we've got a mayor that seems to be against it.
I want a deal.
Now, how does it look right now if you're the Saints ownership group that has incredible ties to San Antonio, knowing what our current political climate is with a mayor fighting a franchise that has been here since 1973? Do you even pick up the phone and call?
Well, it's Tom Benson's daughter who wanted to come to San Antonio in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
She runs the team now. She would love to come back to San Antonio. I don't think there's any question about it. The problem was that team you just mentioned that is fighting for Project Marvel. That's the issue of getting a football team here. It's not Jerry Jones, and it's not the McNairs in Houston. It's the San Antonio Spurs. And while I say that, I don't say it to be judgmental of the Spurs. I don't blame them. Because the fact of the matter is they're the only pro franchise in town. And so any corporate dollars that they get.
Yeah.
They're even having to go to Austin to get more. So that's the issue. And so it baffles me when everybody, Jerry would never allow that. That's just baloney. It's just pure baloney. The Spurs fight that unless they were to be a part of the ownership group.
Yeah, and again, you're right because, they've had a monopoly on all the pro sports teams for the last, 15, 20 years outside of the San Antonio Missions.
Yes.
And now you look at who's part of the new Missions ownership group, and you wonder. But the Spurs would probably, behind closed doors with city politicians, fight against an NFL or an MLB team coming here, especially with, look at how difficult it is for them to get Project Marvel, which, now granted, felt like everything was moving along very smoothly with Ron Nirenberg as the mayor, and you had the council and the city actually working together, which isn't always the case because the city council and the Bexar County officials didn't work together, 30-ish years ago, which is why the Frost Bank Center, then the SB Center, was built where it was. And at that time it was the county judge Cryer, I believe, that finally were like, all right, here's what we're going to do, and save the Spurs then.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and again, San Antonio is going to be brought up in any kind of professional team moving anywhere because that's just the way that it works, and we will see. So I wish we had the Saints here, and we would have if it wasn't for Mother Nature. She had different plans.
Well, then Mother Nature sent them here initially,
yes.
and then because things were so bad, that fixing the Superdome became a cause for the NFL.
That's exactly right. And it would have been a PR disaster is the words that I was told if the Saints were to move out of New Orleans. We can talk some more NFL. What do you think about somebody coming here to San Antonio? It's a great topic. We can also talk a little Dallas Cowboys. Do they have a chance, a prayer of anything, of beating the Green Bay Packers? And don't forget, we do have a poll up. Should Micah Parsons have a video tribute on Sunday? Our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Go there and vote. We do have the recommended number of votes, but as long as we're going, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And we got tickets to give away. We're going to do that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you know me, you listen to this show enough, you know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to watch a game than at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, the big fights they're on. I know, like, Saturday night was great because they had Arizona State Baylor on one, Texas Sam on the other, and UTSA Colorado State. It was perfect. Just sit there, have some cold drinks and some food because their food there is fantastic. Love the fried shrimp. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great appetizers, great salads, I'm told, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party, happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chum Club, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of Sports Star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Thinking about replacing doors or windows? Well, whether it's one, two, or all of them, for the best price and quality, I've got the company for you. Hi, everybody. This is Joe Reinagle from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. For windows and door renovations, call and compare. Whether it's a window or door project at home, or if you're a contractor, windows and door renovations. 210-284-7888. Offering a wide variety of designs, styles, and materials. Save more with window technology that helps maintain your home's temperature, making your AC work less and your electricity bill go down. They're also selling Anderson windows, and all of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the best price. Call now, 210-284-7888. Proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting our military community. For more information, look them up on Facebook as Windows and Door Renovations. Call today, 210-284-7888.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
Hey, Sarah. Heard about your car accident. You okay?
Well, let's see. My car's toast, my neck's a pretzel, and the insurance guy ghosted me faster than my ex. So, peachy.
Remind me why you haven't called Thomas J. Henry Law yet?
Calling an attorney is weird to me.
Yeah, you should totally trust insurance, who profits from underpaying you.
I'm picking up on your sarcasm.
You need to pick up the phone and dial Thomas J. Henry Law.
Car accident? Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com today. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Football is back, baby, and Underdog is the best place to make your picks and win money all season long. You can play it in Texas, too. Guys, it is fun, it is exciting, and it's a great way to get in on the action. Playing is so easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more, and you get it right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Is Dak going to go higher or lower on passing yards? Will CD score a touchdown or not? All that makes the game a lot more fun. Get in on the action at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app now. Sign up with promo code ALAMO to score $50 in bonus funds when you play the first $5. That's promo code ALAMO. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Make the Break Room on Pat Booker Road in Live Oak your football watching headquarters. Watch all the college and NFL games on the 17 HD TVs. The Break Room shows all UFC and boxing events with no cover. The kitchen is open daily until midnight with karaoke on Tuesday nights and a DJ every Friday with pool, darts, video games, a patio. It's more than your average neighborhood bar. So check out the Break Room at 8084 Pat Booker Road in Live Oak. Follow the Break Room Live Oak on social media for the latest specials and events.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
You got to just listen to this one for a minute. Nobody's heard this. It's a band called Sabaton.
I'm supposed to know who they are, I'm sure.
You don't know who they are.
I have no clue.
Hell, I didn't know who they were until a couple of days ago.
Really?
Yep.
Well, see, I feel better. Now, that particular song, though, has some meaning, right?
Well, local flavor to it. So Sabaton, which I'd not heard of, they do a song with Johnny Hawkins and Mark Vallelunga from the band Nothing More. Nothing More, of course, from San Antonio. Mark's been in studio with us a couple of times, and so I saw on social media that they did this song with Sabaton, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, well, who the hell is Sabaton? And they're one of Europe's most popular metal bands, and they're known for their live stage shows, which include very elaborate sets and an actual military tank.
Really?
Is their drum riser, 2 tons that they travel around with.
Wow.
Now, like I said, this song just came out like 2 days ago. And I saw Mark had this on his social media, and I'm listening to it, and now I'm listening to some of this other stuff from Sabaton. And I walk in today, and Pledge says, we've got pairs of tickets to give away to go see Sabaton at the Boeing Center at Techport. They're coming here in February.
February 15th, which would make a great Valentine's Day gift to your significant other.
It really would.
They're at the Boeing Center at Techport. Of course, if you don't win the tickets today, you can get them online at livenation.com. Or we're going to have a bunch more besides today, so just keep listening if you don't win today. But Sabaton, February the 15th, Legends on Tour. It's a great place to go see a concert.
It really is. And you know, I kind of now put them in the category of Rammstein, which, except for I can understand what these guys are saying. They're from Sweden, but Rammstein, remember, they played in the Alamo Dome, all that fire, crazy, you know, the music over there that you don't ever think about. they're coming here. It's weird because I'd not heard of them, and now we've got tickets to give away.
Well, let's give them away then. 656-3776, 656-ESPN, caller number
15.
There you go. For February the 15th.
There you go.
Be caller number 15. You're going to win a pair of tickets to go see Sabaton, Legends on Tour, February 15th at the Boeing Center at Techport. Again, if you don't win tickets, you can buy them online at livenation.com. Sound like interesting music, that's for sure.
Good heavy metal music. And I know Nothing More plays at a rock festival seemingly every year in Sweden, and apparently that started with these guys just doing a big deal, and it's turned into one of Europe's biggest rock festivals, according to their bio.
Now, would you go to a rock festival in Europe?
Sure.
You would?
Why not?
I don't know, man. Those people are different.
What do you mean they're different?
Well, they're different. They're just kind of different. I don't know.
I mean, they got beer and
do
music
they?
and
is it cold beer though?
You're not
hot
gonna,
beer?
You're probably it's cold. It's not all hot in Europe. Although I struggle, you would struggle because it's not all light either.
I get that. But I prefer a flight by Yingling.
Yes.
It goes down smooth.
Yeah, I don't think they have that in Sweden.
Well, probably not.
Not yet.
All right. Well, they should.
Not yet.
Beer Santa needs to get on that.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The Cowboys have a lot that they need to get on after getting embarrassed by the Chicago Bears and a Green Bay team that is coming in. And I'm going to guess Green Bay is going to be pretty pissy after losing to the Cleveland Browns over the weekend.
Well, I would hope the Cowboys are pretty pissy, too, after getting embarrassed in Chicago over the weekend. Again, you could say that the Cowboys obviously shorthanded. CD Lamb out. You got two starting offensive linemen who are out in Cooper Beebe and now Tyler Booker. Both of those guys are out of action. Deron Bland, iffy. Jerry said today, maybe.
Yeah, and again, he would certainly help. But, you always hear about, players-only meetings, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it when the owner GM has a meeting with all the coordinators Monday following an embarrassing loss?
I think that's probably fair to say answers. What you want is what we're going to do about it. And there's not much argument as to what we didn't do well. That resulted in the loss. There's not a lot of conversation about that other than how can we, this coming week and 3 days of practice, how can we basically address it personnel-wise, scheme-wise? And that's the nature of the conversation.
So Jerry went down there and said, we were embarrassed and the receivers were wide open for the Chicago Bears. What the hell are we going to do about it?
Oh, pretty much.
I mean, that's exactly what he did. And I don't blame him for doing that. It's like, hey, that was ridiculous what happened in Chicago. And what are we going to do to fix it?
Well, I mean, according to Jerry, I guess Eberflus must have said, you know what, boss? We could probably scheme up to get pressure on a quarterback. Should we try that?
We had a perfect storm. We had the play on the front didn't match what we were doing in the back. A zone defense is a safe defense. It should allow, played right, it should allow shorter games, but not big plays. And, of course, if you do a zone defense and you limit your rush by numbers, then that's the perfect storm against you. You've got to be able to stop the explosive plays. And when you don't have it, then you have to make adjustment. And we did that really, frankly, the first drive. We had some adjustment and put a little pressure on in there. But the answer is yes, yes, yes. We've got to have more pressure.
Well, yes, yes, yes. And I mean, I'm an average Joe sitting at home on the couch wondering why the hell Eberflus isn't doing something different. Like, I don't know, maybe sending a couple more guys. You weren't covering anybody anyway.
Well, just listen to what he said there, right? The front end wasn't doing what the back end was doing. They weren't working together. To me, that's coaching.
Sure it is.
That's coaching.
It's all coaching.
I mean,
in this sense,
the guys must have heard zero coverage and meant we don't have to cover anybody. We'll cover zero people because guys were running wide open while there was no pressure. It made absolutely no sense. Then Jerry was asked, do there need to be changes made to the secondary?
We certainly have help on the way. You just named one of them, and we've got a couple of others that could really come off of our IR that more than likely would have been playing in these first 3 ball games. So we have personnel on the way by and through of guys getting off the injury list, and that could be very, very helpful. However, what we were really short on out there, which was just not playing the schemes that we were using in the secondary to its fundamentals, not playing to the fundamentals of the scheme, is what really hurt us with those exceptional long plays that Chicago put on us.
So was it not playing with fundamentals, or was it the front end guys weren't doing what the back end guys they were? I don't understand. Is it coaching or is it players? Because Jerry makes it sound like it's all of it.
I agree with him.
I mean, our players suck and our coaching sucks, and we're not all on the same page.
Yes,
right.
Both. Look, he's talking about fundamentals here. These are professional football players. My assumption is they have probably been taught the fundamentals since they were about, 6 years old. Moving up into junior high school, college, fundamentals are things that these guys ought to know. But what it looked like to me, honestly, on a lot of those plays, that the secondary didn't have a clue who was supposed to be where and at what time.
Well, zone defense, they all have an area.
Well, they weren't in their area.
And they're not good enough to play man-to-man, but they're also not good enough to play zone. There was confusion there. Now, could you blame that on these guys going on their 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 years?
I think it plays a role, but it's not an excuse because you've got turnover all over this league in coaching, and you've got turnover in players all over this league. And so you've got to factor that in. That's the life you've chosen. That's what we do. And by the way, if you're a coach, more so than any other explanation, you're prepared for a setback like this. You should be. You should know that there's a good chance one's coming. And so as coaches or as managers, this is no first time, or either you're very naive. In the NFL, and even as these teams are across the board, those differences that you saw out there Sunday can be corrected. On the other hand, you've got to know that here we're facing Green Bay. They'll look at what we didn't do well. They'll look at what we didn't have in the right spot personnel-wise, and they'll be ready to attack that Sunday. That's what makes this league so special and so great, because everybody's playing with good players.
Oh, yeah. Well,
except Dallas.
Yeah, well, yeah, good players. Look, they're banged up. It's going to be tough. Hopefully Deron Bland's back. Jadeveon Clowney's going to play. Maybe that can put some pressure on Jordan Love. But at this point in time, if I don't see, 50% blitz from the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to be disappointed.
If we're not covering downfield, might as well put pressure on.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, you listen to Jerry, and he tried to say, Green Bay is going to look at what we didn't do well and what we didn't do anything good in that game.
No.
Yeah, we got nothing. I mean, it's funny hearing him catch himself mid-sentence knowing that they didn't do anything good in that game defensively. But it almost makes it sound like in their zone coverages, guys had areas, and they stayed in their areas, and if somebody ran through it, that's not my area. It's like working with somebody that's like, that's not my job.
Yeah, and there was a lot of that going on. And I used to go back to, and I saw another clip of it today, the one, and I can't remember the receiver for the Bears, who it was, but it was like being in the street with my dad playing catch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was like. Now, the guy was standing there wide open.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Luther Burden. I'm not sure who caught that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Caleb Williams just threw it there just like they were playing in the backyard.
Yeah, it was street ball. It almost looked like on some of those plays that you had the fancy iPhone where you could Photoshop people out because they were so wide open. Like, you don't expect guys to be that open in the NFL. Maybe once in a game, there's a breakdown or somebody slips and falls, like Diggs did fall on that one. That happens. But multiple times in a game, those guys were just wide open. Like, dude, that can't be real. They photoshopped that. No, that was real.
Yeah, it was real.
Every angle you look at. You can only find Cowboys if you found a wide angle shot from that play.
It was bad. Let's just put it that way. And hopefully there will be some changes. Look, win, lose, or draw on Sunday night, they got to put up a fight. They put up a fight against the Eagles, had a chance to win that game. The Giants game, they put up a fight, and they ended up winning it. The Bears, there was no fight. None whatsoever. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night. Shireen Williams from ProFootballTalk.com is going to join us about 5:15 coming up here in a moment. We'll get her thoughts on what's going on with the Cowboys and what she thinks they need to do. In the meantime, Houston Texans, according to Indie Koo, they're the best 0-3 team in the NFL. We're talking about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having issues at your house with your plumbing or your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Call them 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 2:30. The Aggies take on the Auburn Tigers. Presented by Just Punts. Pregame at 1:30 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hornitos Tequila and America's team have one major thing in common. Everyone can enjoy them. They weren't made just to have a few fans, but to gather people who love high-quality, real Texas football and premium fresh-pressed agave tequila. It's for all our fans. Whether you live in Texas or not, or sip your Hornitos in a Paloma or straight, it's 100% agave tequila for 100% of Dallas Cowboys fans. Hornitos, the tequila de todos. Drink smart. Hornitos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. 2025 Salsa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you don't.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy has been fired after more than 2 decades at the helm of the Cowboys. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor already being mentioned as a possible replacement, along with Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney. Houston Texans have shockingly cut ties with a big name on their defense. According to multiple reports, the Texans are releasing veteran safety CJ Gardner-Johnson.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's.
It is a Tuesday, and it's 5:05. If you're getting off work right now, congratulations, you made it. You're all ready to hump day. It's coming. It won't be long until it's here, so congrats. Thanks for tuning in with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. I got to tell you, Jason, I feel like an old man.
I mean, would you see yourself on the screen there?
No, because that guy looks pretty damn good. He looks a hell of a lot younger than his physical age is.
Oh, this is true.
Well,
I'll give you that.
So I'm at the gym this morning, right?
Oh, here we go.
And lifting weights with my brother's there, and we're doing it. It's arm day.
Yeah.
Tuesday's arm day, right?
Okay.
So I'm doing some curls, sitting down. I got the elbow up against the leg, and all of a sudden I lift this thing, and I went, whoa! And something happened, man. I was like, dude, I felt like I just got stabbed. And so I'm walking, I'm bouncing around, looking like I'm about 105. Oh, my gosh. Dude, there's no worse pain than that.
Back pain?
Yes. And it's lower back pain on top of that. And so it's like, yeah, sometimes my mind still thinks that I'm 30.
Okay.
And my body has to remind my mind that I'm much older than that.
Double, more than?
Yeah, yes. So I'm just saying, if you see me hobbling around like an old, although it feels a lot better today, although I've been eating Tylenol like candy. So it feels pretty good, but
I was about to make a Trump joke, but I won't.
But it's all good now. I'm just telling you. So
you're not pregnant, are you?
But not that I'm aware of.
That Tylenol is okay.
My belly might appear that I'm pregnant, but no. I haven't been physically molested,
What?
maybe in other ways, but oh my goodness. So if he said,
I'm not sure where you're going with
well,
any
I'm
of this.
just saying. I mean, you get that in a lot of ways these days. It doesn't always have to be physical. Whether it's
A lot of compliments on my bend.
a bill or a transaction or something. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
have no idea what you're talking about.
I guess I'm the only one that happens to.
Do you know what you're talking about?
I don't have a clue. No, I'm just saying that there's some things that you get screwed It doesn't have to be the physical screwed thing. I just didn't want to say the F word.
Yeah, I got you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
guys are slow, man.
Hurt yourself in the gym.
Yes.
You're at the age now where getting out of bed every day is an event. And snap, crackle, pop.
It sure is. A lot more pop than snap. That's for sure. Speaking of snap.
What?
Sports Illustrated already has their bowl projections out after 4 weeks.
They do this all the time.
I know, but how can you do that?
Well, because they're called projections.
Yeah, but
it's called content.
It's a little.
It's a website that survives on clicks.
It's a little early for that, is it not?
I mean, no.
Well, just in case you're wondering, they've got UTSA playing Cal in the First Responder Bowl on December 26th. They've been there before, right? The First Responder Bowl?
Yeah.
There you go. So make your plans now, kids.
You're a dumb butt.
Let's hope so, Coach, because hopefully you're bringing home that American Conference title. That would be nice.
I hope he's still here.
Well, he will be. I just hope he's here next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the time bowl season rolls around,
well, that's a good point.
He would be gone.
Good point.
If Oklahoma State comes a calling.
Mike Gundy fired today, if you haven't heard, and Jeff Traylor obviously already on the list of possible replacements.
The idea, Jeff Traylor, G.J. Kinney, Eric Morris, several others. The OC at Oklahoma right now. And I wonder if you're the OC at Oklahoma and they call your agent, do you say, yeah, sign me up today? Because today he lost John Mateer, the Heisman candidate, out. He's going to have surgery on his hand. He's going to miss several games. He's going to miss the Texas game, likely to miss the A&M game too.
I tell you, that's a big blow for them. Oklahoma, that game against Auburn was really good. Yeah, I watched a lot of that game, and he's a good player. He's a hell of a quarterback, and that's going to be a big blow to Oklahoma, which I really don't care about him, but I'm just saying it's a big blow to that franchise for sure. That program.
It's 5-10 and OU still sucks.
Yeah, they do.
And this sucks for OU.
College football's been a lot of fun so far, and we're just getting into the meat of the schedule.
You know, isn't that the beautiful thing about college football? As much as we bitch about all the crap off the field, portal, players getting paid, what they're getting, all of that talk has not really affected the product on the field. It's still great on a Saturday. When you sit down, now you might have to go, oh, he's there now, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But the games are the games, and it's great. College football, the stadiums are packed. Everything is there. I mean, exciting finishes. The UTSA game the other day was great.
Yeah, it was.
The way Arizona State knocked off Baylor was great. Texas game was what you expected it to be against Sam Houston.
But it was good to see Texas finally play a game where they did what they were supposed to do against an inferior opponent.
Yes.
And they did that, and Arch Manning looked good. He needed that. So they get the week off this week, and A&M's got Auburn this week, so that's going to be good. Shereen Williams is always good. ProFootballTalk.com, and she's going to visit with us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, if you want to make watching games a lot more exciting, make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog, the best place to make your picks and win money all season long. Yes, you can play in Texas, and the Pick'em game is easy and it's fun. Pick whether a player is going to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions. I know I had David Montgomery higher on his projected yards last night. I think he doubled it. Yep, that turned green. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code STAR to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Again, promo code STAR. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
At Frost, we believe in going the extra mile, like opening more locations to be a part of more communities. Overdraft grace, which means no fee if you overdraw your Frost Personal or Frost Plus account by $100 or less. And the little things like cookies, coffee, or that time when there was a fire at a Fort Worth daycare and Frost bankers entertained 26 kids with snacks and games until their parents could pick them up. That actually happened. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protectyourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/sports. openphone.com/SPORTS.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Fuel up like a champ at Tamalitos Mexican Restaurant, your San Antonio spot for daily lunch specials and game day flavor. Proud sponsor of the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Tournament. Swing by Tamalitos today, where every bite is a win.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Rough Sunday for the Dallas Cowboys in Chicago. Will it be any better this Sunday at Jerry World? This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
And Shireen Williams can answer that question. She joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Shireen Williams from ProFootballTalk.com. Hard to explain just how bad it was in Chicago, especially defensively. And hearing Jerry on the radio this morning up in Dallas, I don't think he made anything any better.
No, he really didn't. And I don't know at this point how you fix what ails them. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And, you know, how much will Jadeveon Clowney and Deron Bland help that defense? I don't know. I guess we're going to find that out. They'll be better. How much better? Did they make a difference? Did they make that much of a difference? I don't know. They're just not very good. And, you know, we talk about the offense and how good Dak's playing and all that. Now we have the CeeDee Lamb injury. I know, but through 3 games, but you scored 14 points and you settled for 2 field goals when, frankly, you knew what your defense was going to do. And I totally don't get that. I mean, you've got to beat Dan Campbell when your defense is that bad and say, all right, we got to go for this. You know we're going to have to score a lot of points to win. We're going to have to go for some things that maybe we don't want to go for, but that's what we're going to have to do, and mentality we're going to have to take. So I got problems with every single area of their team except for Brandon Aubrey, and perhaps Dak Prescott is playing at a high level. He's going to be like Joe Burrow last year. Joe Burrow put up MVP numbers and earned Comeback Player of the Year. Dak Prescott's going to do the same thing this year, and the Cowboys are going to be as bad or worse than the Bengals were.
Well, I tell you, Shireen, what worries me now, though, it's kind of like a flashback to last year when you talk about that offense, because with CeeDee Lamb out of action, George Pickens is the guy, so he's going to draw the double teams, and you're going to have to rely on Tolbert and Turpin to pick up the slack on the other end. It just, man, to me, that was such a meaningless injury, and I know they do it all the time, but to me, it was just the dumbest play I've ever seen.
Well, yes, and I might have felt better about them running that play last year when they had no running game. They had, frankly, no running backs that we would call a feature running back in the NFL. They have that now. They have that running back. They have a running game. Look at what those guys averaged on Sunday. And yet you're running CeeDee Lamb, your star player on offense, your big difference maker, running him right into that tackle and right into an injury. And I don't get it. You know, based on how good their running game was on Sunday and how it's been this year, that's not something that you needed to do. And so I don't get the play. And now you've lost your best offensive weapon. But I will say, you talk about that. Yes, they're going to miss CeeDee Lamb, no question about that. But they are in better shape than they would have been last year if they had lost or they did lose CeeDee Lamb, because they do have George Pickens, who's been a true number 1 receiver. And you're right, he's going to see more double teams. And he's not CeeDee Lamb. He can be a number 1 receiver. He has been a number 1 receiver. He is not CeeDee Lamb. There are only a handful of those special receivers, just like there's only a handful of Micah Parsons and those special edge rushers. he's one of a handful, and George Pickens isn't that. But they are better off than they were last year when they lost CeeDee Lamb.
True. I'm glass half full, I
that's
suppose.
true.
But again,
sure.
I what frustrates me, Shireen, is my expectations for this Cowboys defense isn't very high. Now, should Caleb Williams look that good against them? No. But my expectation for this offense, with or without CeeDee Lamb, is they should be able to score around 30 points a game and at least have the Cowboys competitive with a chance to win. They scored 14 on Sunday. How? And everybody's talking about how bad the defense is, and I get it. It was awful, but my concern is on the offensive side.
I completely agree. Totally agree. You know, we keep Dak Prescott's playing at a high level. He's been really good. He has been. You know, the turnovers haven't really been his fault. You know, the receivers have to catch the ball better than what they have. And, you know, CeeDee Lamb dropped all those passes a couple weeks ago that really made a difference in that game. But, yeah, you've got to score more than 4 against that defense. I mean, look what Detroit did to that Bears team just a week earlier. And then you look at how the Cowboys played against them. And all the players, by the way, the Bears had out against the Cowboys, starting with Jalen Johnson and TJ Edwards. I mean, they had a ton of guys that didn't suit up for that game and still made the Cowboys look silly on offense with only 14 points. Again, I think, you've got to be more aggressive in your play calling and your decision making. You've got to go for things that you might not want to go for. You can't settle for the field goals when your team is that bad. I don't care how good your field goal kicker is. You can't settle for field goals. You've got to absolutely go for anything you think you can possibly get. If it's 10 yards or less on 4th down, you got to be going for it. And I realize there's points on the field when you wouldn't necessarily do that, but midfield beyond, you've got to go for those things. You cannot be kicking field goals. And so, you know, that was part of the problem too. It's just like his decision-making isn't right there, knowing how bad his defense is. But there's been drop passes, there've been fumbles, there've been just dumb things, holding penalties that have brought this offense back and slowed them down. But I do think when they get CeeDee Lamb back, they can be a very good offense and be what you thought, scoring 30 to 40 points per game and really putting up some big numbers. And they're going to have to do that, frankly, if they're going to do what I certainly expected them to do, which was cover 6.5 wins. And if you ask me now, after last week, I'm saying absolutely not. They're not going to get to 7 wins. But they should get to 7 wins. They have the talent to get to 7 wins. I don't know. Like, there's so many problems with this team that you just wonder where they're going to go. And by the way, are they going to quit? Like, they all seem to like Shoddy, and we talk about, what a great players coach he is. If he's really a players coach, they're not going to quit on him. But I was in that stadium for Wade, his last game against the Packers at Lambeau Field, and it was not pretty. They quit on Wade. So he's got to keep this team together and say, look, we got to get better week by week by week, and we do still have a chance. We got to do it quickly now, but we do still have a chance if we can just get going and go and get better every week. That's what they've got to do. But I do wonder whether this team is going to quit. If you lose big again to the Packers, like, what's the feeling at 1-3 and you've absolutely been blown out? You haven't even been competitive for 2 weeks, which could happen.
Well, that's interesting, Shireen. I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right. So Jerry meets with the coaches yesterday, so we're told. He said that on the radio and just wanted to know about some schemes and how they're going to fix what was broken, especially defensively against Chicago. Looking at that, and I'm watching the game the other day, and look, I'm just an average Joe watching the game on my couch, and I don't see anything different happening with the defense. And I'm figuring your secondary's getting blown out anyway. Why don't you send a couple of other guys and try to get some pressure on Caleb Williams? I just didn't see any adjustments, Shireen. And did I miss something?
No, and that's what they did in the Week 1 game against the Eagles. They sent pressure in the second half because they weren't getting the first half, and it worked. Like, they were in that game against the Eagles there. You know, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't adjust. I don't know why they're doing many things they're doing on defense. I love Donovan Wilson. He's a captain. He's an Aggie. He's absolutely lost out there right now. He had the big interception against the Giants, but he is not playing very well right now. So I think it might be time for him to sit down and some other changes to personnel. Sanborn has not played very well. Probably time for him to sit down for a while. So there's certainly personnel changes you can make, but it's going to be a lot of scheme too and fundamentals and doing the types of things that you haven't done so far. Maybe it is simply simplifying the defense. But why they haven't done that already, I have no idea. And that was just not a good offense that they played the other day. I'm sorry. It's just I have seen all the Bears games. That's not a good offense.
It's not, and the jokes sometimes write themselves. Eberflus finally got a great game out of Caleb Williams. It's just unfortunate. And there's already people wondering, at what point do you make a change at defensive coordinator 3 weeks in? Is Eberflus the right guy for this job?
Well, when's the last time Jerry bought out a coach in the middle of a season? I think it was Wade. I don't think he's made even an assistant coach change. I wouldn't expect that. That's not his MO. Now, could they make somebody else the coordinate? Hand over the play calling? Absolutely. But is he going to fire Eberflus in the middle of the season? I'm going to be stunned if that happens. We just don't see him do that. He does not buy out contracts. That's not what he does. So I don't expect that to happen. At some point, you have to think about, all right, let's hand over some play calling duties to somebody else. If it gets any worse than what it is or stays at the level that it's been the last 2 weeks, I do think you have to consider letting somebody else call the plays. But do I think they're going to fire Eberflus? I don't. Just because we haven't seen that from Jerry in his history over the past however many years since Wade was the last one that he's fired. And the only reason he did that is because Wade did lose the locker room. He did lose a team. The team did quit on him at that point. So he really had no choice but to do that. And again, is this team going to quit on Eberflus, and is this team going to quit on Shoddy? And I think that's a big thing, that they're going to have to hold this team together week by week. And if it gets any worse, I don't know. I don't know. I do worry about that a lot. And there's going to be it's going to be a really longer season than we envisioned if that happens.
Boy, let's hope that doesn't happen because, look, I had this game circled on my calendar at the beginning of the season, right after the Micah Parsons trade, was the Green Bay game, Sunday night game on NBC. Everybody's going to be watching. Nobody could believe last week, Shireen, that the Cowboys were a point favorite against Chicago. Everybody thought Chicago was going to or Dallas was going to go up there and roll. Obviously, that didn't happen. This week, nobody's given Dallas a chance at all against Green Bay. It's the NFL, and anything can happen. Do you think there's a prayer that the Cowboys can somehow pull out a miracle on Sunday night?
Well, I think there's a prayer. They did it against the Eagles. They had a chance to win that game. So I do think there's a prayer. It is the NFL. I mean, the Browns shouldn't have been in the game with the Packers, and yet they scored 13 points in the final 3:38. I would have liked the Cowboys' chances maybe a little bit better if the Packers had held on and won that game. But I think they're gonna be a little angry, a little motivated this week, sort of like what Detroit was after Week 1. Detroit said, "That's not us." The team that lost to Green, that's not us. And the last 2 weeks, they've absolutely turned it on. So I think we're going to see a different Green Bay team than we saw last week. And by the way, that Browns defense, if you haven't seen it, it's probably the best defense in the NFL. It's an unbelievable defense. They're playing at a super high level and keeping the Browns in games. So, there's a reason that the Packers only scored 10 points in that game. Don't think that, well, the Packers offense isn't that good. The Browns defense is that good, and that's the reason that team only scored 10 points. I just think you're going to see a different Packers team come out against the Cowboys. And I do give them a chance. I don't give them a great chance. I'd still probably pick the Packers and the spread, but I'm not one to ask, because when the line, as I told you guys last Tuesday, when the line had the Bears as favorites, I was stunned. I was like, I think the Cowboys are going to go in there and roll. And I believe that. And I don't think the Bears are a good team. So it was a stunning. If they had lost at the end, I would have said, okay, they're on the road. It's the NFL. I mean, they were blown out.
Yep.
It was not close from start to finish, and that's I think what has me going. What kind of team is this Cowboys team? Are they going to be the worst defense in Cowboys history, and perhaps one of the worst in NFL history? I said I don't know if New Jersey or Texas has the worst NFL teams, both of them. But if you could take the Texans defense and the Cowboys offense, I think you'd have a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. I mean, you would, and since Jerry's in charge of personnel, he says it's not a personnel issue; it's a scheme and execution issue. And he keeps talking about this help that's going to be coming off IR. The Texans let a Super Bowl champ go today in CJ Garner-Johnson. Apparently, bad fit in the locker room. But he's better than what any that the Cowboys have at safety right now. Is that something that you think the Cowboys would look at?
Well, they looked at Jadeveon Clowney, who had a problem with Myles Garrett in Cleveland, and they ended up signing him. So, I absolutely think they could sign him, despite that he was playing out of position and doing things that he shouldn't have been doing in the defense and causing problems in the locker room. That hasn't ever stopped Jerry from signing a player. So 100%, I think they'll give him a look, and it probably should give him a look. It could be a low-cost, high-reward decision if it works out for him. Now, this is the second stop that it hasn't worked out. It's worked out in Philadelphia for CJ DJ, but it didn't work out for him in either Detroit or in Houston, and there are reasons for that. And he had the same problems in Detroit that he had in Houston. So this is not a guy that's an easy, fit into your locker room and is going to be into the culture that Shoddy wants to build. But that's never stopped Jerry before from signing a player. So absolutely, I think they will look at him. Will they sign him? I don't know, but I do think they will look at him.
Follow her on Twitter at NFL Shireen. Read her at ProFootballTalk.com. Shireen Williams, always appreciate the time and knowledge.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Shireen Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Shireen Williams, I tell you what, I never even thought about or considered the thought of them quitting on Shoddy. It's early, but again, she makes a point. If Green Bay just blows Dallas out of the water this week, what's going to happen? But look in after Green Bay, you've got Carolina and the Jets, both on the road.
I mean, let's be honest. Coming into the year, a lot of people had the Cowboys either 1-3 or 2-2 after 4 games.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And they're going to be 1-3, right? Right. So they're right on track where a lot of the tough start, and then it kind of gets easy. Then they got the gauntlet.
Keep in mind, both of those games are on the road, though. Yeah. Carolina and the Jets.
And Carolina just shut out Atlanta.
Yes, they did. At home. So pretty good defense. Oh, my goodness. All right, when we come back, we're going to give you the results of our poll. Should Micah Parsons have a video tribute on Sunday night when he comes to Jerry World to take on the Dallas Cowboys? We'll talk about that. We'll wrap up what we've been talking about, NFL and college and all of that kind of stuff, when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before we go, though, I want to brag a little bit about my schwanky Connecticut quality water softener. I love this thing. In all seriousness, I love it. It just made such a difference in my household. Maggie loves it as well. The dishes come out of the dishwasher cleaner, the clothes out of the washing machine. I come out of the shower cleaner. It's amazing how that happens. You don't have that residue all over you when you step out of the shower. It really is the product that you need and the product that they say it is. It is the most popular water softener on the market. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. All their products are made in America. And what I love about it is you don't plug it in. You don't plug it in. It does not run on electricity, but it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So obviously, it's not going to be a drain on your electric bill. Another plus. How about this? This is a big plus. When you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, they're going to give you for free a reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. What does that mean? It means you don't have to buy bottled water anymore. So that expense is going to go out the window because you have it right there at your kitchen sink. $400 trade-in on your old water softener. They're going to give you that, and they're going to give you free money. 0% interest for 12 months. That's an incredible deal. 0% interest for 12 months. Give them a call. Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party is just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad Pro- The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. Let me tell you something. It is so good to be right. In Prize Picks, there's no better way to prove your knowledge than to play Prize Picks. And Dallas Cowboy fans, you know every game counts, so don't miss a moment of the action this season on Prize Picks. Make your picks on your favorite Cowboys every week and ride with the boys all season long. You got all kinds of play, all kinds of ways to go. Right now, Prize Picks is offering $50 in lineups. That's money you can play with. Use it and prove how good you are. Prize Picks. There's only one place to go. All you need to know is more or less. You can pick your players, you can pick your game, but we got the place for you. It's Prize Picks. And remember the code ALAMO. Alamo's the one you need. If you put that in there, use the code ALAMO for your $50 free play. That's $50 when you use the term ALAMO. You know the game. Go play it in the right place. That's Prize Picks. It's so good to be right, and you're always right when you head to Prize Picks. Go get it today. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and you can come by and thank me later.
Hi. My name's Jason Thompson. I've been representing people injured in traffic collisions here in San Antonio for more than 30 years. After a collision, I've spoken to many people who wanted to believe that the other driver's insurance company would be fair and they really didn't need an attorney. They thought that the insurance company would pay their medical bills and do the right thing. I wish that were true, but trying to go it alone is a big, big mistake. If you have been injured, please know the other driver's insurance company has adjusters and attorneys working against your interest. If insurance companies were trying to get to heaven, I'd be out of a job, gladly. That is just not the world we live in, though. Call me as soon as you can if you are injured in a traffic collision. I do not charge anything to review your case with you. I'll tell you what you need to do and what you should not do. If you want a smart and fair result, you'll need to make smart decisions along the way. And that is what I do. You and I will make smart decisions for you and your family, and we'll get justice and fair results. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
New Beyond Raw Lit V2 pre-workout. GNC's #1 pre-workout. Now with harder hitting energy, an intense mind-body connection, and enhanced endurance support. This isn't just pre-workout, it's precision engineering for your body. Turbocharge your workout with new Beyond Raw Lit V2. Available now at GNC and GNC.com.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protectyourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Football season is at Tamalitos Mexican Restaurant with daily specials that hit harder than a linebacker and game day plates that score big. Tamalitos is your go-to plate. Proud sponsor of the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Tournament. Tamalitos, where every bite's a touchdown.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
We're going to be tested this week. I know what the numbers say. I get it. They have given up some explosives, but this is a good football team we're getting ready to go play. They've got good players on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Hey, man, this is a National Football League, and these guys will be a challenge for us, and should be a heck of a football game.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I want to thank everybody that took the time to vote in our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page poll. Had a poll up there, and the question was very simple. Should Micah Parsons have a video tribute on Sunday when he makes his return to Jerry World? No is the consensus, 75% to 25%, 131 votes. So thank you, everybody, for participating in that. And if you haven't been to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, I suggest you get there. It's quite the community, and the commentary, well, some's good and some's not so much.
Well,
but it's all entertaining.
I mean, it is entertaining. People end up having their own conversations. There's all kinds of stuff. So yeah, watch on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not really watching, just go to YouTube and then drop it down if you're listening online or however you're listening. SASportsStar.com, one of the gazillion apps. You name it, however you're listening. Appreciate you being a part of the show. A couple of big stories today, and one that's probably going to grow legs over the next several days. And it's interesting because it is a bye week for the UTSA Roadrunners. But with Mike Gundy getting fired by Oklahoma State, Jeff Traylor's name is listed as a potential replacement for Gundy in Stillwater. If you go to Sports Illustrated, they're top 10 likely candidates. Jeff Traylor's number one, and it's his picture.
Yeah.
Right? Others, he's not number one, but he's on the list. G.J. Kinney, Eric Morris, also on the list. Nick Saban, if he comes out of retirement. I mean, you got a little bit of everything. But one of the things that I find fascinating is how good of a job is this in Stillwater? And I say this from all these coaches that are in a group of conference, American. Now, granted, GJ's on his way to the Pac-12, but are they going to be what? Yeah, you get to the Big 12. After T. Boone Pickens died, things changed for Mike Gundy up there. But when UT and Oklahoma went to the SEC, everybody thought Oklahoma State was going to be the team in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
And they've been a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Why? How did it fall apart for a guy like Mike Gundy, especially with Texas and OU out of the way?
Well, I have to wonder because, look, they've got the money. I mean, they were one of the first schools to come out and say we're going to spend the max on what we can with this whole revenue share. So I just have to believe that Mike Gundy, was he not buying the right players, offering the right players? Did he just lose his passion for Oklahoma State football? I mean, he's been there 21 years, and look, it happens.
He didn't lose his passion. Reading on one of the articles that I was reading, that's one of those Oklahoma State fan sites to see who they had listed as potential candidates. Mike Gundy doesn't like booster meetings and fundraising events and that sort of thing. And that is a big part of the job right now in college football. You've got to be out in the public and raising money.
And you got to go out and kiss babies and shake hands and all that kind of stuff. And it's necessary. Jeff Traylor is probably as good at that as anybody.
He's the biggest fundraiser for UTSA
no
out there.
question about it. And, well, people enjoy shaking hands with the head guy.
Yep.
And nobody's immune from that.
It's a part of it. And if that is one of the things that was going on, then that's part of being a coach in today's world of college athletics.
He's old school, so maybe he just didn't. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's just surprising. But expect to hear a lot of Jeff Traylor and G.J. Kinney, and for a while, and who knows when Oklahoma State will hire, because it's so different now in today's world of college football. Oklahoma State might want to get a guy in there right away, and what the dominoes are going to be. Now, granted, UCLA's been open, Stanford has been open. That's the fourth job that's come open in major D1 college football, and we're still in September. But they've got to hire sooner because they got to work the portal. And because all those kids at Oklahoma State, they're free to go because their coach got fired. A lot of guys that already committed to Mike Gundy have already decommitted with that news today.
Lost a big running back I saw, or the guy that they were very high on. He decommitted from Oklahoma State.
Let's talk about injuries because, boy, there is a lot of them with the Dallas Cowboys. Time for our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome on the Buyers Barricades at Guestlang, Dr. Harrison Schofield. And, Doc, I want to start with high ankle sprains because they're not all equal. You get some high ankle sprains that are 2 to 3 weeks, others that are 4 to 6 or even 6 to 8. How do you, what is that, just the grade of the sprain and the high ankle sprain vocabulary?
Yeah, exactly, guys. Thanks for having me on. But it's there, when you have a high ankle sprain, there's multiple ligaments around the ankle that are involved with that. And what the ligaments are they connect the two bones in the ankle, the fibula and the tibia, together. And when you have those injuries, there can be just a slight injury where just one of those ligaments is injured, or multiple of the ligaments can be injured. And then when the injury is really severe, those bones can actually totally separate, and that's when you end up actually needing surgery, like we've seen some people like Tua have in the past, or get that tightrope type surgery. So sounds like it's not going to be anything that needs surgery, but kind of sounds like what I'm hearing is 3 to 4 weeks, so kind of in the more mild to severe or mild to moderate category.
Which, Doc, is what I was going to ask you, because they've got two players now. They got Tyler Booker, who's an offensive lineman, and then, of course, C.D. Lamb, who's a wide receiver. Depending on what position you play, could that add to the time frame or lessen the time frame depending on where you play?
That's a good question. I think it's probably more based on severity. I think really any of the positions you're going to have to play, you're going to require a lot of your ankle. Certainly, you could say that maybe skill players would need to be back a little bit sooner, but either way, you need to be pain-free with this. Typically, you're in a boot, not really putting much weight on it for the first couple of weeks, and then becoming pain-free, and then kind of working back into it. So I'd say it's much more based on what the MRI and exam is showing them position, but probably skill positions probably require a little bit more out of your ankle than your interior lineman kind of positions.
It's interesting because I was wondering if weight had something to do with it, because obviously when you look at an offensive lineman like Tyler Booker, he's Tua C.D. Lamb's, and his expected out time is double C.D. Lamb's, and then you factor in Cooper Beebe, who is more in that 6 to 8 week category, another offensive lineman, although I'm thinking an offensive lineman could probably play differently with a high ankle sprain than a guy like C.D. Lamb who requires speed.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Certainly a lot more weight going through that ankle. And I think probably most of the timelines are based on what they're seeing on exam and MRI, and probably less so than position. But it's certainly a good thought.
Well, that's interesting. I got to ask you about this. Mike Evans, former Aggie, he's now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's out with a hamstring injury, Doc, and he's had a hamstring injury every year since 2019. Are some guys more susceptible to hamstring injuries, or is that just a freaky thing?
No, absolutely. Unfortunately, once you've had a hamstring injury, you're much more likely to tear it again. So what's actually happening when you injure that hamstring is the muscle is tearing, and that muscle will heal back on its own. Usually fine, you can get back to normal, but that muscle is no longer ever really totally normal again because it's kind of healing by scar. And so that's always going to be more predisposed to tearing again in the future. And certainly every time you have it, you're a little bit more likely to have it again, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think unfortunately that's why it keeps rearing its ugly head for him.
Doc, help me out. Where did you go to college again?
Texas A&M. Yes, I was there when Mike Evans was there.
Yeah, no, I thought you were an Aggie, but I wanted to make sure because it's 5:52 and OU still sucks. But their quarterback, John Mateer, he's going to miss about a month. Broke a bone in his throwing hand and is having surgery. Now, they didn't give any details on what he actually did, but they're only saying that he's going to miss about a month. So what are you thinking he is actually dealing with?
So, yeah, I think most likely a fracture they're planning on fixing, which is pretty incredible that he was able to play through that the whole game. It's likely a fracture that is not very far out of alignment. My guess would be in one of the metacarpal bones, kind of just in the middle of the hand. And certainly a tough guy to be able to play through that. And typically, if it's not very displacing, you go in and fix it with either plates and screws. Typically, you can get back relatively quickly, but certainly it's going to be hard. I believe it was his throwing hand that he injured. So certainly going to be hard to get back. And you wonder, even if that 4-week time point is, if he's going to be feeling totally ready with his throwing hand, if that's going to feel comfortable and he's going to be able to get back to the same, Heisman hopeful form that he was in.
Doc, let me ask you about the Texans. D'Amico Ryans, their head coach, said that Derek Stingley Jr. is day-to-day with an oblique injury. First of all, can you explain an oblique injury and the severity there? It seems like it'd be hard to move around with that type of injury. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, your oblique is part of your core, so just you have your abs in the front, and the obliques are on the side of your abdomen that help really stabilize everything. And so any kind of movement that's going to bother it. So it's just he's going to have to take some time. And that's the same kind of thing as a hamstring, where basically you tear some of the muscle and it just takes some time for that to recover. But yeah, certainly I think any kind of movement your core is involved in. So any kind of movement is going to certainly be uncomfortable when you have that type of injury.
He's assuming you and I have abs, Minix, and we know what that is.
I mean, but Ryan Eagle certainly understands uncomfortable movement. He was bitching earlier, Doc, that he's at the gym working on curls, sitting there. He's got his elbow against his leg. He's doing a curl, and somehow he hurt his back.
Yeah.
Need some free advice, Doc.
What happens as we get older, huh? Yeah.
What's the diagnosis? Old.
Father time, yes.
Biofreeze.
Yeah.
That's great stuff, Doc. We appreciate it. I thanks for calling me old. That's all right, though. I won't take it personally.
Mm-hmm. It's a good laugh. That might make a drop.
Feel free to come in and see us, and we'll get you straightened out.
Absolutely. I know you will.
Good stuff. Dr. Harrison Schofield, always appreciate the knowledge and the insight.
Absolutely.
All right, appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for having us on.
The injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com.
Man, I always learned so much from those guys, though. You know what? I mean, they just you ask them a question, they just rattle off the answer like it's nothing.
Well, it is for them.
I guess so.
That's why they do what they do, and we do what we do.
Yes, and I'm glad I don't do that, because I do that, though, however. Glad you got a show tonight. All right, Extra Innings with Pledger is coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and get up early with the fellas in the morning. The Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ. We'll get you started at 6 o'clock. Yeah, well, you never know what those two guys will do in the morning, so you want to tune in.
Hawkeye and,
Axeman and Bobcat.
Bobcat.
Try to shove it up their ass.
Yeah, well, I don't know what Axeman and Bobcat do in their spare time, but we'll leave that to them. Exactly right. Minix and I will be back at 2 o'clock on a hump day. We're going to have fun. Lots to talk about, so be sure and tune in then. Hope you have a great night, everybody.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at SA